Alright, hello, hello. Oh, it changed the color of the controller.
Please be happy.
No, you please be happy. Alright, I'm gonna have to do my own audio check this time. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. A, B, C, D. Alright, I'm all good. Okay. Here we go. Bar. Hi, emo. ABCD, yes. Best way to do a mic check is say the alphabet. In my opinion, at least. Okay.
Would you like to tell me a story? Please, go ahead.
Wait, we're not going at the very beginning, are we? Okay, we are. Dig it. That is my fault. Log. Yep. We're gonna load. We're gonna start with the chapter we left on. There you go. Alrighty. Here we go. It's another chilly morning in Wellington. I'm outside the Bell House waiting for Aspen.
People are gonna think I'm staking this place out. And for once, that isn't true.
It's after breakfast, but before the sun's up, Aspen invited me for a free drink before they open. But I'm starting to think I've been duped.
Anytime now.
I rub my arms and bounce around to try to stay warm. Right as I'm thinking about picking the lock myself, the front door swings open and Aspen waves me inside.
So anyway, like I was saying, my uncle taught me this trick to make it taste better. You put a little bit of salt in the coffee and it brings out the flavor, right? Not too much. You don't want to make it salty, but just a little bit.
Oh boy.
Sorry about that. I got a little held up.
I was thinking maybe you forgot about me after all.
Dang.
No, you're not rid of me that easily. I was just...
I tried it and it's really good. Have you tried it? Remind me, I'll make you one. So then I was thinking, if I start doing that every time I make a drink, eventually people will start realizing that their coffee's better when I make it, but they won't know why.
That's crazy.
talking to Lena. That can always take longer than you expect or plan for. But she and I often look the other way for each other on certain things. Such as letting you in before the store opens, for instance.
Oh, am I not supposed to be here?
That's cool!
As long as we open on time, it's fine, and Lena and I are the two fastest. You kind of have to be when she's involved.
Wait, is this a Yuri game? I smell the Yuri. Yeah. Well, you know, you don't have to go through that route if you don't want to, but yeah, there are options. Or at least two main options.
What do you mean?
I'm sure you'll see. Come on, what do you want today?
I inspect the menu. It's as unhelpful as ever.
Here's a paper copy, if that's easier to read.
She hands me a little printout menu. It's also distinctly lacking pictures.
Sorry, can't read it.
Oh, do you need a Korean version? I'm afraid we don't have one.
Oh, nah. Can't read any languages.
I may as well have told her that the sky is green. Aspen stares at me in clear disbelief. This isn't the usual weird look. This is beyond that. She laughs nervously.
You're joking, right?
I shake my head. She collapses onto a stool behind her, fanning her face with the menu in her hand.
I can't believe it. I just can't. So you haven't.
can tell she really wants to say more, but she holds herself back.
I suppose that explains a lot. Still, I just can't imagine.
Are we the fox? Yes, we are the fox girl. Yeah, and the human is Aspen right here. And then there's another girl. Her name is Juliet. She is the vampire. So far here, I'll catch you up. We are a little fox who could turn into human, and we are on a journey to look for the specific person who talked to us way long ago before we could transform. And along the way, we stumbled upon Wellington. Normally, apparently it's because of the fox's curse that people don't remember us whenever we see them the next few days or so. But if we see the same person within like the same day, within pretty much 24 hours, then they will remember us. But yeah. Can we theoretically in the game kill a guy with our tail? She tucks her tail between her legs whenever she was stealing stuff, so I'm assuming she can. How old are we? I have no idea. I'm gonna assume maybe at least 20. Oh shit, more than 24 hours? Yeah. So, like, for example, like in this scene, the barista that was named Lena pretty much doesn't remember us. But Aspen here does, since, like, we saw her, like, yesterday. And, like, you know, that's still within 24 hours. I'm assuming it's, like, a 24 hours if you don't see the person again. Because according to our main character, whenever she steals stuff, the next, like, 2 days that she doesn't see the person, and she does see them again, they don't remember her or the fact, like, that she stole stuff from them. But yeah. So pretty much, because we now know that, and our main character now knows that, like, as long as you keep seeing these people within the time limit of the curse, they will remember you. And she wants to actually start enjoying human things. So that is what our character is doing. W Lunar Tech. It takes a moment, but she regains her composure.
Anyway, if you want to try something new, then how about our ambrosia latte? It's one of our seasonal beverages with apple and caramel.
Apples and coffee? I've never had that before.
Yes, well, we're experimenting with the recipe still.
I said that we should try adding more cinnamon to it.
Like, for example, this barista, Lena, right here, she doesn't remember serving our main character. And our main character has been in this coffee shop before. The girl in the middle was the first barista that gave her a drink. But she doesn't remember. I don't even know where Lena comes from. Suddenly she's just there.
Aspen said it would overwhelm the other flavors, but I add extra whenever I make one, and so far no one's complained.
Lena, are you serious?
Well, yeah. How else are we gonna find out which one's better? I'll make one for your friend too, and she can tell us which one she likes more.
Lena!
Oop. The other girl hurries back to the kitchen, clearly not caring about what Aspen was about to say. Aspen sighs and shakes her head.
Right, well, I have to open the registers and put on the coffee. I'll have your drink in a couple minutes.
Okay, thanks.
I hop up on one of the tall stools and wait, swinging my legs back and forth. Before long, the cafe fills with the smell of warm coffee and baking bread. It's enough to make my mouth water, even though it hasn't been long since I last ate. Aspen roams between the kitchens and the front area, always looking very busy. She checks and inspects what seems like a very drawer and cabinet in the place while getting ready. Nina's busy too, mopping and setting up chairs. At some point she puts earphones in, and her music is loud enough for me to hear it from across the building. After a while, Aspen returns to my table along with the steaming paper
Here
cup.
you go. One ambrosia latte.
I pop the lid off so I can take a peep at the drink itself. It smells light and fruity, and a swirl of caramel syrup is melting into the coffee and whipped cream.
Looks good.
Hopefully it tastes good too.
I have a tiny little sip since it's too hot to drink very fast. The tartness of the apple actually goes pretty well with the coffee flavor.
It's a little sour, but it's not bad. Not as good as a fairy kiss chiller, though.
Well, I can't complain about that.
The chair squeaks against the floor as Aspen sits down across from me.
So, have you decided how you're going to spend your day?
Not yet. What about you?
There's still another 7.5 hours left on my shift, so I'll be here for quite a while. After work, I try to have a social life or get some writing done. Although lately I usually just collapse on the bed and take a nap.
What accent is the barista? Australian? I think they're kind of like, I could be wrong, but the other love interest, she kind of has like a, I want to say British voice. It might be Australian for Aspen. I have no idea, honestly.
Hey, me too! Without a bed, though.
Yes, well, I'm sure frolicking through the flowers and chasing rabbits gets tiring.
Yeah, it kind of does sound like Australian. Harem route. I don't, that's not an option apparently.
Are there rabbits around here?
Not for long, I imagine. Speaking of which, have you thought about what I said yesterday? About getting a job? It seems you have more than enough time on your hands. You do know what a job is, right?
More or less. I mean, I've seen people at work before, but I've never had my own job before you ask.
Yes, I'm aware. Anyway, you'd have money to buy things you want, and you wouldn't have to steal to get it.
What do I need money for, though? Juliet lets me sleep at her house, and she even gives me food.
I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but Juliet can't take care of you forever, you know?
I know.
Right now I'm still getting used to even living here. I haven't given any thought to what might happen later
I
on.
don't even know what kind of job I could get. Is there some place that would hire me to steal things?
Not legally, no. But maybe you can find a way to use those skills. Maybe you could be a security guard somewhere, or a locksmith.
Maybe. What exactly is your job, anyway?
Well, as you know, I'm a barista. That means I make coffee and tea and hot chocolate and whatever else our customers ask for. Some people rely on our products just to get through their day, so I consider it to be a very important job. If we were to close or go out of business, there would be a great many people who would be distraught over it.
Wow! And you're gonna do this for the rest of your life?
Not for that long, I hope. It's not my passion by any means, but I don't mind it. It can be rather exhausting though, especially on busy days.
I can't say she's selling me on this whole job idea.
What is your passion?
It's this.
Like she was waiting for me to ask, Aspen dramatically pulls out a small notebook and puts it on the table. It's the one that I see her writing in all the time. I lean forward to look at it closely. It's not very big, about the size of my hand, and it's mostly purple in color. There's an intricate gold pattern around the border. It definitely looks fancy. I could probably get a lot of money for this at the right store. Jesus Christ.
This is my writing notebook. One of them, at least.
Ugh, God.
My passion is writing, bringing stories and characters to life, making people feel what I feel. There's nothing quite like it. So challenging, yet rewarding. It's both my favorite activity and also the most frustrating one.
That's fair.
This notebook is full of story ideas, lines that I come up with, or other interesting details. One of the best parts of working here at the Bell House is that I get to meet so many interesting and inspiring people. For example, when you first came in, I wrote a brief note about you. I never imagined that just a few days later we'd be having this conversation.
Trust me, I didn't either. What did you write about me?
For some reason, Aspen's face gets a little red. Ooh.
I don't remember, just that I wrote something. It's in another notebook, not this one.
Okay.
My dream is that someday I'll be able to make a living from my writing. In fact, when I moved to Wellington a couple of years ago, that was supposed to be the first step. It's been taking longer than I'd like so far.
Damn, Emo. Way to get straight to the point.
Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself that I'm not going to sleep that night until I finish at least a chapter. But then by the time I'm done with work, all I want to do is pass out. Of course, that just puts me further and further behind. I've really only myself to blame, I suppose, but life doesn't make it easy for me.
Not me, her. Maybe. Sighing, Aspen puts her notebook away once more while I sip my drink.
Saying it like that, I can't fault you for not wanting to get a job. I'm only here because I need some way to pay the bills. That's just the life of a starving artist for you.
Did someone say job? Are you getting a job here? Is this an interview?
From out of nowhere, Lena appears with a cup in her hands.
No, Miho's just a friend. And were you eavesdropping on us?
It's not eavesdropping if you're in public. You should learn to talk quieter if you don't want people to hear you. Like me.
Wait, I need to look up to see if Lena's even like, if there's like a little interest at all with her. Please be happy game. Can you date Lena? Let's see. Oh no, they're only just side stories. So, like, Lena has a side story. Okay.
Tell me you're joking.
About what?
Before Aspen can even answer, Lena turns to face me instead.
Anyway, that's too bad. We could definitely use the help. Hey, why not apply here if you're looking for work? I bet Aspen would put in a good word for you, right? I could do it too. It'd kind of be lying, I guess, since I don't know you that well, but you seem like an alright person.
Damn.
Aspen everyone trusts you, you have to be okay, I think. I can go get you an application right now if you want. I printed out a whole stack of them yesterday. Actually, it's the second stack, because the first one jammed up the printer and...
Lena, I am begging you to please be normal.
What? Tell me why it's a bad idea. Do you not think... What's your name again?
Miho.
Do you not think Miho could do it?
Damn.
No, it's not that. I'm sure she'd do great. It's just...
Wait, that sounds fun. Would I get to work with you?
Yeah, we'd work together. Oh, you meant Aspen, didn't you? Yeah, she'd be there too.
Slapping her hands on the desk, Aspen stands up from the table.
It's certainly an idea. Perhaps one we should discuss later. Lena, you and I should be getting to work, don't you think?
Okay, boss.
Please just go unlock the door.
Okay.
Smirking, Lena heads towards the front of the store.
Feel free to hang out for a bit if you'd like, Miho. Although it's going to get busy soon, so I won't...
Oh, wait, I almost forgot. If you need something to do, come play tennis with me this afternoon.
Tennis?
Yeah, you hit the ball back and forth over the net.
I know what it is. Is that your hobby?
For now, I like trying new things.
I'll think about it. I should try something new myself, too.
I wasn't asking. Anyway, you said it yourself. You're totally coming. So, I'll see you there.
Damn, Lena's rude. I didn't ask what you needed to do. I'm telling you what I need.
Okay.
I can't help but feel I've been roped into something here. But it's true that I should at least give it a shot. Maybe I'll turn out to like it more than I expect.
Cool.
Lena starts to leave again, but then suddenly jumps back around to face me again.
Oh, right. There's one more thing.
How many more things does she have? I can practically feel Aspen's exasperation as Lena runs back and slams a cup she was carrying onto the table in front of
Try
me.
this. Tell me which one you like more. The one I made or the one Aspen made?
Okay.
Oh boy. With an unnecessary loud sigh, Aspen goes and unlocks the front door herself. I'm over halfway done with Aspen's drink, but I take another gulp, paying attention to the mix of flavors. Then I do the same with Lena's. Lena watches eagerly, fists clenched in excitement.
So, what you think? Come on, be honest.
I can't taste a single difference.
Good.
Sure, but which one's better?
Taking another sip of each, I try to detect anything that's different between them, but I can't. Fortunately, Aspen saves me. She looks behind Lena like a phantom.
Lena, don't you think maybe you should go check the croissants?
Jesus Christ.
No, I already looked at them earlier. A couple of them were kind of schoolish, but I tried to massage them back into shape. Don't worry,
For once, Lena's the one cut off as Aspen jerks on her apron string, and she flaps her wings to maintain her balance.
Why don't you go check on them again? Or maybe the muffins, if you haven't yet.
Fine. We all know Miho just didn't want to hurt your feelings anyway.
Aspen releases her, and Lena walks off to the back of the cafe, like an embarrassed cat, pretending it was her idea all along. After she disappears into the kitchen, Aspen sighs yet again.
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. She seems nice.
That is certainly one way you could describe her. What I was trying to say earlier is that you can stay here if you want, but I won't be able to chat. Our first customers will be here any minute now.
That's okay. I'll probably go back to the library once I finish my drinks.
All right, I'll see you later then. And don't feel obligated to finish both if you don't want to.
I'm gonna try. Bye!
Like Lena, Aspen also retreats behind the counter and starts filling the display case with pastries. I wonder if any of them are the croissants Lena was talking about. Sure enough, it wasn't long before the first customer starts to show up. Aspen takes their order with that fake nice voice that she used when we first met. Already I've gotten more used to hearing her regular speaking voice instead. It's interesting to know that even normal humans like her still pretend to be other people sometimes. I wonder why she feels like she has to do that. So far, she's one of the nicest humans I've ever met. After I finish my first coffee, I toss the cup away but hold on to the second. I'll drink it later or something. Aspen waves as I leave the bell house and start making my way back to the library. I've had my fill of wandering around for the last few days. If I'm going to be bored, I may as well do it while I'm comfy. Job or not, Aspen is definitely right about one thing. I really need to find something better to do with my time. Ooh, now we could choose. Oh, well, Lena's available, I guess. So, but first, we are going to save. And I guess we're gonna go... Can I even choose something else? Oh, I know. Okay, I guess we could only go talk to Lena. After a few hours of sitting around at the library, I'm bored enough to take Lena up on her offer to play tennis. The only problem is I forgot to ask her where and when. Sometime in the afternoon, I go down to the Bell House, where an employee tells me both Aspen and Lena have left for the day. They gave me directions to a place called Hatai Tai Park, which is where they say Lena mentioned before heading out. I follow their instructions and reach a big open area full of people on bikes, walking or just sitting in the grass. I wander around looking for any sign of Lena or people playing tennis. Finally, I spot the court and make my way over. Out of the dozen or so people who are playing, it isn't hard to find Lena when I get there.
Yeah! Nice serve!
She runs back and forth, leaping and diving to hit the little green ball before it can touch the ground. She flaps her wings to keep from falling over, which she does. Her partner, a tall boy with antlers on his head, looks exhausted when he swings his racket. It looks like his arm might fall off at any second. When I get close enough, Lena notices me and stops mid-dive.
Miho! You're late!
Now that she's distracted, her partner takes the opportunity to hurry away, collapsing into the grass to rest.
Sorry, I wasn't sure what time I should come by. Or where.
Oh, right. I guess I should have told you. In that case, good guess.
I don't bother telling her that I got help from one of her co-workers. Lena picks up a racket from a nearby and offers it to
Ready
me.
to play?
Yeah, you know what? It's bothering me. I need to see who is the voice actor for Lena, because she sounds so familiar. Oh god, it's bothering me. She's a bird? I believe so. I feel like she's either like an eagle or something. Excuse me. Or maybe a dove. Molly Zhang. What other characters has she played before? That's crazy. So this girl's voice actor plays Gyokyo in Apothecary Diaries. That's crazy. I was not expecting that. She's a government spy drone, really? Yeah, apparently she plays Gyokyo. Let's see, who else? Um, her voice sounds like someone else from like a very old anime. No, okay, I should just look up the actual who is Okay, no, it is a different person, but damn, this sounds familiar. I mean, I didn't watch dub, but it seems there's 4 endings that mainly depend on chapter 4 or 5. For this game, yes. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Lena picks up a racket from nearby and offers it to me.
I guess so. I don't really know the rules, though.
Nah, it's fine. Me either. Just try to hit the ball, alright?
Okay, I can do that.
Oops. I take my spot on the other side of the net, trying to imitate the way other people are standing.
Alright, here goes.
Lena drops the ball, then knocks it towards me. I watch it carefully, and when it gets close enough, I swing. The ball goes soaring way over her head and falls into the grass out of sight somewhere.
Maybe a little less oomph next time. Let's try it again.
She serves the ball, and this time I just barely hit it over the net. Lena dives for it like before and sends it sailing back to me. The more we play, the easier it gets. Both of us miss the ball or knock it into the net a lot, but it's not too bad. Finally, even Lena gets tired, and we take a break to drink some water.
How long have you played tennis?
Like, today or in my life?
In your life?
She thinks about it a bit, scratching up her nose.
About a week.
Oh.
That's it?
Yeah, how about you?
About half an hour, I guess.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. See? We're both trying new things.
The whole time we're talking, Lena keeps glancing away from me to watch the other players. I try to figure out what's so interesting, but can't.
Okay, break's over. Let's play some more.
We get back on the court and play for a little bit longer until the end of the hour. As everyone else starts to pack up and leave, I follow Lena, who puts away her equipment.
So, what'd you think? Did you have fun?
It was alright. I wouldn't mind doing it again, but I don't know if I'd want to play all the time. I can see why some people enjoy it at least.
Being outside is nice. It was a good way to burn off some energy.
That's good. They meet a few times a week if you want to come back.
Will you be here?
Not sure yet.
Even while cleaning up, she's still distracted by someone or something else. When the other players walk past us on their way out the park, Lena turns her head to watch one of them. Ooh, she has a crush on somebody.
Because we're planting trees here next time. Really exciting, right? If you want to help out, then come to me after.
I catch a snippet of conversation as the person Lena's watching, a dryad, goes by. Lena must hear too, because she instantly closes her eyes and puts her finger against the side of her head.
Planting trees. Planting trees.
She repeats the words to herself a few times, then her eyes snap back open.
Okay, got it. start studying up tonight so that I'm ready.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm pretty lost, but maybe this is just how Lena is.
You should come too, if you're not doing anything. I'll tell Aspen to give you the details.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm not sure if I want to commit, especially since Lena probably won't even remember me the next time we see each other, but playing tennis wasn't so bad, so I should at least keep my options open. Do birds mate for life? No. Apparently some birds even leave their partners depending on how, like, their nest is built. Really depends on what type of bird.
Good. Alright, see you then, Miho.
Or some birds will, like, even go find a different partner after, like, you know, they laid their eggs with a different partner. It's weird. I guess birds and people are similar in a ways.
See ya.
Waving goodbye, Lena heads off down one of the paths. I take a different one that leads me out of the park and back to the library for the rest of the day. Excuse me. With a tiny ding, the toast pops up and I load it onto the plate with the other slices. I bring the dish over to the table.
Thank you, Miho. Go ahead and put it by the butter.
Yeah, so here is Juliet, our vampire lady who lives in the library. Wator. Excuse me. I want to say she has more of like a British accent.
Oops, sorry. Let me get my bag out of your way.
Once the table is set, the three of us sit. I've gotten more used to the routine of breakfast and know when to do when things like pass the salt and pepper without being asked. Every morning so far we have the same thing, eggs and toast, but it's a lot tastier than convenience store food and there are different spreads and fruits to change things up. Like usual, I'm the first one to finish eating, followed by Aspen, who stretches with a content sigh.
Breakfast was as superb as always. Thank you, Juliet.
It's my pleasure.
The two of them saying this is a part of the routine too. Usually Aspen would be getting up right now to leave for work, except this time she doesn't.
Don't you need to go, Aspen?
Is this your way of trying to get rid of me?
Damn. How long is a fox's lifespan? I have no idea. But according to our main character, she's been around for a long time. Or the term they use in the game is they call her a gumiho. She peers at me from over the rim of her cup as she sips her coffee.
I haven't thought about that. I was just wondering.
I'm not sure if I should be flattered. Anyway, I'm working a mid-shift today, so I don't have to go in until noon.
Will you be writing then?
Yes, I ought to. I'm about halfway through this draft, and I'm trying to finish it by the end of this month, so every minute helps.
Oh my, halfway already? That's excellent progress. I look forward to reading it when you're finished.
Don't give me too much credit, I still have to get there first, and you know how that's gone before.
All you can do is keep trying.
What are you writing?
A book. I've been working on it for a couple of years now, as long as I've been in Wellington.
Whoa, you're only halfway done? How long is it gonna be?
Only halfway! I wish it was as easy as you think it is. It takes time to plan the story and prepare to write, and then, even after the drafting is done, you still have to edit it and fix it. Of course, the more you write, the better you become at it. And so, sometimes you notice flaws in your story that you didn't catch before, so you have to go back or start over.
How do you ever get anything done then if you're always getting better? Don't you just have to finish it eventually?
Well, like I said, it's not that simple.
Aspen clears her throat.
difficult to explain to someone who's never written anything. Believe me, any writer would tell you the same thing.
I like Aspen how like quickly snippy she could get at our character who's kind of like dumb. And yeah, she doesn't have experience in these things, but it's like when you have to talk to someone who doesn't understand what you're talking about for the simplest things. I don't know if you ever seen that like video of a guy being asked which is heavier, a pound of feathers, or what was it, like 1 kilogram of feathers or 1 kilogram of metal? And the guy's like, metal. And all his friends are like, no, they're the same. But they're both a kilogram. But feathers light. It's like that. It's like that whole conversation. But they're both a kilogram. We need 6 endings, 1 harem and 2 Aspen and Juliet. Oh no. That is my favorite video of all time. But they're both a kilogram. A feather's lighter. Yeah, it's like talking to someone like that, pretty much. They just don't get it. I glance over at Juliet, who's intently watching her tea as she stirs it.
And you? Did you end up finding something to fill your time?
Oh, like a hobby. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Well, don't worry about it too much. It's supposed to be fun, not something you have to force yourself to do. Although I'm hardly one to talk, there are times where I want to do anything except write.
It's okay. At least you have something. Julia told me about movies, so I might try watching one of those. Have you ever seen a movie?
Once or twice, I'm sure.
Actually, Miho, there was something I wanted to ask you.
What's that?
Well, how would you feel about helping out around the library as a part-time job? I'll pay you for your time, of course. It would give you something to do during the day, and it would be a great help to me.
Really? But I thought you didn't need any help running the library.
It's true that I don't need it. The honor system has served me well for the day-to-day services, and I'm kept informed of any troublemakers. But in addition to the kind assistance from Aspen in the mornings, I also have to reshelve books, maintain the check-in and check-out logs, and more. I don't mind those tasks at all. In fact, I find them rather relaxing. But without them, I'd be able to devote more time to other pursuits. If you're uninterested, you're more than welcome to decline. You needn't worry about being kicked out or disappointing me. I'm perfectly content either way.
Helping around here doesn't sound bad at all. It doesn't sound very exciting either, but it's not like I found anything else I'd rather do instead. At least it's comfy in the library and super convenient. Having some money again would be nice too. It would even be better than there's no one trying to take it back.
Alright, I'll do it.
Juliet looks a little taken back.
That was fast. Are you quite sure?
Yeah, I'll try it at least.
Of course. If you find it's not for you, then I won't be upset. Why don't you take the rest of the week for yourself, and you can begin on Monday?
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Excellent. I'll be looking forward to it then.
The two of them chat a little bit longer before Aspen leaves to go write and Juliet goes to bed. I stay mostly quiet, thinking to myself. A job. That's something I never envisioned having. I figured I'd just keep stealing until what exactly? I'm not too sure. Until I find my person, I guess. That goal has been all I've focused on for my entire life. But now, spending time here in Wellington is actually making me plan things out in advance. When I stop and think about the future, it's a lot of emptiness and mystery. It makes me realize just how little I have to fall back on. That's why doing all these normal things like getting a job could be good for me. I don't know what might be useful someday. As for my person, I'm still always thinking about them and how I can find them. That part hasn't changed. For now, I'll just go with the flow and see where it takes me. Okay, it's the afternoon. Let's see, who do we have to talk to? Oh, we're gonna save here first, because we have options to go to. Yes, we'll save this slot. The library doesn't need you, but I want you. So I'm guessing depending on where you work, you go to a certain persona's route. Yes and no, because we're only in chapter 2. So from what I looked up, 1 to 3 is like an introduction to the story, and then like 4, I think 4 is the choices you make before 5 being like your final like scenes and all that. So yeah, hopefully we could do both of these people, but there's also showing a clock on them. So we could either go to Cuba Street and talk to the little boy named Tommy, or we could go to the waterfront and talk to the old guy. Which one should we do, Emo? The little boy or the old man? Take your pick. Where do we go? What do we do? I think we need to choose something new. We're not Epstein, but it's funny because we met Tommy. He was running away from his mom, and his little spirit friend, like, basically showed where he was hiding. And then the old man, we were going on a hike. And then we just stumbled into the old man, and he's like, "Oh, hi there." So you want to go talk to the little boy? Little boy with the little onion fairy. Ja. Okay. Alright, to Cuba Street. Feeling I could use a break, I head down to Cuba Street while I walk. I count up the bills in my wallet. Not having to worry about money so much is nice. I could buy so many snacks so no one can yell at me now. When I get there, I zero in on the convenience store I stole sandwiches from my first day here. I browse through, grabbing anything that looks good and carrying it up to the front where I dump everything onto the counter.
All of these, please.
Are you having a party or something?
It's all for me.
I forgot. Oh yeah, all dialogue has voice acting. Throws me off sometimes. The impressed looking employee fills up a plastic bag with my bounty, chips and candy and sandwiches.
Now, to find somewhere to enjoy these.
I don't want to walk all the way back to the library, but all the benches around here are full. I carry my bag up the street and then down another and another. Eventually, I reach a place I've never seen before. A large brick entrance looms over me with a wide open black gate. People are going in and out freely, so it must be okay. It's not breaking and entering if everyone's doing it right. As soon as I step in, I'm surrounded by plants. There's green in every direction. I don't have to walk for very long before I find exactly what I'm looking for. A nice quiet bench in the shade of a couple trees. As I'm walking over, something suddenly flies past my face. Yep, there's a little onion guy right there. At first I think it's a bird, or a piece of cloth caught in the wind, but after a second I realize it's a fabled, one that seems kind of familiar. At first I thought it was Oddish. I thought it was a Pokemon, and I was like, why is Oddish in the game? Can I accidentally eat it? Maybe if you pop its head off, it's like a twist top, you could just pull it apart. It drifts away without stopping and floats in the opposite direction from me. I go and sit down, unwrapping the snack bar that I brought, and take a big bite. While I'm munching, a bug starts to buzz around my head. I wave it away a few times, but it keeps coming back.
What is it with things getting in my face today?
No matter how many times I swat at it, the bug doesn't give up. Finally, I go to knock it away and totally by accident end up catching it in my hand instead. I can feel it buzzing against my palm as it flies around. Ooh. Trying to find a way out. It's not exactly pleasant. I'm not sure what to do with it. If I just toss it in the bushes, it'll come right back.
Can I have that?
Eat it. Oh god, it's Tommy. A voice from behind almost startles me into letting the bug go. I spin around to come face to face with the fable that flew by a couple minutes ago. Just beneath him is a kid.
The bug?
Yeah, it's for my collection.
The boy holds up a book with some pictures of other bugs on
I've
it.
got almost all the bugs on this page. That's the only one left.
That's crazy. He's collecting the bugs. So are all the bugs in your book? Suddenly I remember where I've seen both him and the fabled before on the pier, hiding from his mom a couple of weeks ago. I think his name was Tommy. Kick him in the bugs. It took me a bit to recognize him since he wasn't pouting.
Let me keep bugs because she says they're dirty, but Dad doesn't mind. So can I have it, please?
He pulls out a little jar from one of his pockets and opens the lid. Oh, okay. I thought he was putting the bugs in the book. like a freaking, you know, like the Pokemon collections. All of the bugs have a sleeve for it.
Well, that solves my problem, I guess.
I dump the bug into the jar and Tommy quickly shuts it.
Thanks. Kirby and I were tracking this one all day.
The fable bobs up and down in agreement. At least I think it's agreement. All three of us turn at the sound of footsteps as someone else approaches us. Is that his dad? Dang, Dad is looking kinda young over there. My private spot has filled up pretty fast. Why would you say it like that? Why is it phrased like that? Ain't the bug gonna suffocate? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Hey, bud. You catch anything good yet?
Dad! Look what this lady caught!
Dang, okay, that is the dad. Dang. The mom looks so much older. Tommy runs up and shoves the jar into the man's face. He takes it and inspects the bug inside.
Oh, looks like a big one. Did you say thank you?
Yeah, Gerby did too.
Oh, is that what it meant when you bobbed up and down?
Both Tommy and his dad stare at me like I've just said something crazy. I take an instinctive step backwards.
You mean
You can see Gerby? You mean he's real?
Not believing your kid and his imaginary friend there, Dad? That's crazy. Oh, that's right. I remember from last time. No one except Tommy can see Gerby. Tommy and me, apparently.
Yeah, he's floating right there. He has a purple flower on his head and on his sides.
I point to Gerby, although the little fable doesn't have a mouth. Its eyes crinkle up in a way that makes me think he'd be smiling.
Wow, she can really see him! See, I told you he was real, told you!
Tommy's dad whistles in wonder.
You sure did, kiddo.
He turns to me.
Not sure how you did it, but you're the first person I've met who's been able to see Gerby. I've heard lots about him, of course. My name's Elijah, by the way, and I'm a reporter for one of the local papers. Mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Mind if I ask why are you divorcing the mom? Yeah, so when we met Tommy, he ran away because I guess his parents are getting a divorce. Damn. I just wanted to eat a snack in peace, now being asked to do an interview. My discomfort must show because Elijah waves a hand just like when I was trying to wave the bug away.
It's fine, it's fine. Figured I asked. Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I'm just not very good at talking to people.
No worries. Thanks for helping Tommy catch that bug, though. Beats me having to do it.
Sure. It was kind of an accident, though.
Hey, an accident doesn't have to be a bad thing. Me and Tommy should probably be heading out, though, or his mum's gonna be upset with me. Oh, and Gerby.
Okay. Goodbye.
Take care. Say bye, Tommy.
Elijah takes Tommy's hand and leads him back out the gate, holding Tommy's book in his other hand. Tommy carries the bug in a jar, peeking in to check on it every few steps. Only Gerby stays behind, orbiting around my head a couple times before bouncing up and down. Then he floats off in the same direction as the other two. When I'm finally alone, I sigh with relief. At long last, I enjoy the snacks I brought earlier, and when a bug shows up and starts flying around me, I just leave it alone. I'm not taking any more chances. Once we finish eating breakfast, Juliet drums her fingers on the table, looking thoughtful. Oh wait, it's the next day, so we're actually going to save this one right here. And we're going to go do the fisherman guy. I think he's a fisherman at least. Ah shit, I saved it on the wrong slot. Whoopsie, oh well. I'm sorry, fisherman dude. I'm so sorry. I wonder who's gonna get custody over the kid, a mom who doesn't like his hobbies or a dad who understandably doesn't believe the kid's imaginary fairy friend. Who knows? Because for now it doesn't seem like they went through the divorce, but the way Tommy was phrasing it when he ran away was like, why do we have to live over here, you know, when we were living somewhere else, and why are you leaving? Why aren't you coming with us? Like towards the mom. So it seemed like they were actually going to get a divorce, but who knows?
It occurred to me that perhaps I should give you the proper tour of the library now. That way, you have the weekend to get better acquainted with it if you need.
Tour? I think I've seen everything, right?
Pardon. I meant of the books themselves. Where to find each genre and what they are.
Oh, right. Sure.
I hadn't really thought about the books. To me, they're all the same, but I guess that wouldn't be true for everyone else. Right now, I have the place memorized in the same way you memorize a battlefield. What places are out of sight and how to get in and out and anything else that might be useful. I don't think there are many battles that happen in here, so Juliet's tour would probably be more helpful.
If you'd like, I can show you a couple of my favorite books. That way, if anyone asks for a recommendation, you could at least make something up.
That'd be great.
Anything that makes it easier for me to make things up is fine by me. Three of us head to the entrance.
Let's start with the basics, shall we? As you know, this is the reference desk. It's where books are checked in and out, and where anyone who needs help can find it.
What kind of help do people ask for?
Usually, they need assistance finding a specific book. Or perhaps they need a recommendation for what to read next, as Aspen mentioned.
Hope they like the same books as her then.
Damn. I got it. Miho has anti-dementia. I think it's like everyone else has dementia around her. I don't know if you like any Adam Sandler movies, but one of his movies, I forgot what the woman actor's name is, but the movie is called 50 First Dates, where Adam Sandler's character, I don't know if he's like a new person in town or something, but he meets basically the girl he likes, or a girl he starts to like at a cafe, but doesn't know she has, like, she forgets every day. Her memory resets, basically, and she thinks like it's the same day every day. Everyone else knows what's going on around her besides just that girl. I think I've seen clips. I mean, it's a pretty good movie, but eventually, yeah, they get married, and he made a little videotape of what has happened throughout the years, and like as they're married, like she still forgets every day, but in the end, like she knows that like he is the one for her. It's a pretty good movie. I enjoy most Adam Sandler movies.
Don't worry, I'll think of some that are more popular. Not my real favourites, which most people would be too bored to finish.
Juliet leads us into an actual row of shelves. I stare down the book as I pass by, committing as many details to memory as I can. Even if I can't read the words, I can try to remember the colors and shapes and covers.
Over here is the children's section. It's got lots of picture books and beginner reader books. The shelves are shorter too, so that children can reach them more easily.
Children can reach them more easily, but this scene has books high on a shelf. And you can tell because the chair is like literally right under the book row. Someone's lying.
Oh, I've seen some of those around. Are adults allowed to read them too?
Of course. Parents read to their kids quite often.
Some people read them for fun, too. You gain so much more appreciation for the illustrations once you're older.
We head over to another area.
This is the non-fiction section. It's for books about things that are true, rather than made-up stories.
I rarely visit this section, personally.
In a shady corner near Aspen's favorite table, Juliet taps a small sign hanging on one of the shelves.
This is the mystery section. Stories about detectives, murders, and other such subjects live here.
Dun 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 dun. Miho needs spicy picture books, maybe. Considering she doesn't know how to read, yeah.
I do admire mystery writers. It's difficult to come up with a compelling one.
We go around the whole library like this, with Julia and Aspen pointing out all the other sections. Finally, we come to a stop back at the desk where we started.
I do believe that's everything. Do you feel like you have a good understanding now?
It's hard to keep them all straight. Fantasy, history, cookbooks, biographies. I think I've got most of it, though.
By the end, my head feels like it's spinning, and I know that I won't be able to remember everything as hard as I try. But I do feel like I've gotten a better feeling for this place. At the very least, I could show someone where to find the restrooms. That's crazy.
It is a lot to take in. Don't worry if you can't memorize it all right away. There's plenty of time to learn.
Even I forget where things are sometimes, and I've spent more time here than at my own apartment.
Thanks! It might take me a while, but I'll get it eventually.
I know you will. I have the utmost confidence in you.
If I'm going to do this, I may as well try my best. Maybe something good will come from it, and if not, I can always just leave.
Want me to show you the books I was thinking of now?
Sure.
I'll be off to bed myself then. Have a lovely day, you two.
Sleep well.
Night!
Julia heads upstairs while Aspen and I go back to the shelves.
To start with,
She leads the way to the fiction section, which is easy to remember since it's the biggest. Aspen runs a finger across the books as we move down an aisle. I see her scanning the titles before she stops and taps the spine of one.
here we are, Wuthering Heights.
Isn't that the freaking game? No way. That's the game, right? Oh, wait, no, that's an actual book. Okay, I'm thinking Wuthering Waves. I'm dumb. So, Wuthering Heights. Oh, they're making it a movie too, apparently. A movie for this year. Oh, in February. Interesting.
I just returned this one recently after finishing my annual reread. It's a very tragic love story. The main character is rather terrible, I must confess, and there's an awful lot of death. But despite all that, it's beautiful.
That description definitely isn't what I was expecting.
People really like to read that stuff?
Sometimes, yes. You read to experience all kinds of different feelings. Besides, I think there's a kind of sad beauty to doomed romances like that. It really does put life in perspective.
If you say so.
You don't have to take my word for it. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you start working here. In the meantime...
I follow Aspen to the other side of the room, where there are a couple smaller racks of books near the corner. Aspen spoiled the book. Go watch the movie then instead to see if it's accurate. Wait, Emo, do you read like normal books? Not like manga or anything?
Do you enjoy poetry?
You mean like races and stuff? Guess they're okay.
That's pottery. Poetry is...
That's pottery. I thought she was gonna say that's pot. You're trying to? I have some I want to start. I finished reading a nice, like, Yuri romance book that happens to be in the Edo period of Japan. It's called Passage to Tokyo by Poppy Kuroki. It's really good. Here, I'll type it into the Passage to Tokyo by Poppy Kuroki. She also has other stories regarding like Tokyo and all that, like, you know, from the past, but I think the other book, it was a normal, like, straight relationship, and I wasn't into that, so I wanted to go with the Yuri one. But I enjoyed reading it. It's a bit sad. It made me a bit mad, but it's enjoyable. She clears her throat.
Prose. Words in their best order. Poetry, the best words in the best order. Samuel Coleridge said that. He was a poet, but he's not the one I have in mind. I'll show you what he meant.
The book she selects looks old, very old. It has a green cover that's rough like a lizard's skin, with the letters being faded gold.
Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of the most famous poets to have existed. I simply adore his work. Here, this is from The Lady of Shalott.
The Lady of Shalott. Shallots. She clears her throat again, even though it's only been a few seconds since the last time. You downloaded it and added it. Nice.
Willows whiten, aspens shiver. The sunbeam showers break and quiver. In the stream that runneth ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot.
I barely heard past the first line.
Aspens! Like your name! Does it come from this poem?
If only. Aspens are a type of tree. Mum loves them. More than she likes poetry, for sure.
Mum. So, wait, is Wellington an actual place? Now that I think about it. Wellington. I typed in Wellington, capital of New Zealand. So they're in New Zealand then. That's a type of beef. No. Ramsey likes Wellington. No. Oh yeah, Ender. One of the characters, the bird girl from the barista shop. Apparently that's from Apothecary Diaries. That's Lady Gyokyo's voice actor.
I do wish I'd been named after it, though.
350 pages? Let me see. I have the actual physical book. Oh yeah, it's 350 pages including the author's note. Can't remember the names of the characters besides Meow Meow and Genshin. Lady Gyokyo was the pink hair lady Mao Mao was working for. The one that had the baby. Eternal sugar cookie, no. I have an ebook with smaller letters. Okay. The child printer. That's crazy. Pink diamond, no. She reads me the rest of it, which ends up being pretty long. It's kind of hard to follow, but imagining the fields and towers that she talks about is nice. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been to Camelot before. Some of the details in the poems are quite right. Anyway, if I don't really understand the poem, it's nice to listen to Aspen reading it. Plus, there's no way I'll forget what that book looks like.
Alright, last one. I thought 3 would be enough to start, but you can always ask me for more recommendations if you need. I could suggest books until lunch, if I didn't stop myself.
I might someday. Even though I lived in the library for a few days now, I never really knew how many different books there were out there before.
Oh, believe me, this library isn't even a fraction of what exists. It's not that big for a library, in fact, just huge for a personal collection, which is really what it is.
How many books have you read?
I couldn't even guess. Definitely hundreds. Maybe thousands? I've never tried counting, but perhaps I should now that you mention it. It would be nice to look back on someday. Okay, here we are.
The book she takes me to is laid out flat on the end table where more people can see it rather than on the shelf.
Everyone knows the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up and can fly. Everyone except me. Now you do too. Peter has a darling fairy friend named Tinkerbell, and he fights the dastardly pirate Captain Hook. Peter leads a group of boys called the Lost Boys, and they cause all sorts of trouble for Neverland, where they all live.
What do you mean he never grows up?
In Neverland, you never get older. So he stays a young boy for his whole life. Even when the girl he loves, Wendy, grows up and gets married, and someday dies.
You sure do like sad stories, huh?
I suppose I do. It's as Peter Pan himself says, to die would be an awfully big adventure. Still, it's not like I only like sad things. Romance is my favorite genre, and not just the tragic kind.
Same. I sit down on one of the chairs since it seems like Aspen wants to have a conversation. May as well get comfy. Aspen sits down too, fidgeting with the strap on her purse.
Why is it your favorite?
Why? Well,
Her hands stop moving while she thinks.
in a book, things can be much more perfect than in real life. A moonlit balcony all alone, or a sunset kiss on the seashore. Real life is considerably messier. I've never been in love before, although I think it sounds quite nice. As I said earlier, people read to feel things. So until that time, living vicariously through other stories is enough. What about you?
What about me?
Do you ever hope to fall in love? I assume you haven't been in love before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, I haven't. I like being on my own.
Do you think maybe that would change if you met the right person?
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about it much. Since everyone forgets me, there's never been a reason for me to care.
That is a good point. Like, take it for example in Miho's like condition, or with her curse. If she were to have a romantic partner, and let's say, for example, they get hospitalized, end up in a coma, obviously unable to open their eyes for like 2 days, they're gonna forget about her. Dang, that's kind of sad if you really think about it. I think you want to fuck the fox sounds like love to me. That emo, that's crazy.
I suppose that's reasonable. Still, that must be...
But do they have to see her? I would assume so, because the way they were saying, or the way from what Aspen said she looked up online, is that the curse that Miho has, it seems like, let's approximately give it like a 24-hour rule. If you see this person from like 6 p.m. and it goes past the next day 7 p.m., you forget them. Because Miho has said after a few days, that person will forget her, even after like stealing from them. So I would assume you would have to still be able to see her to remember her. Oh, there's phones. Yeah, like it's the modern world here. Sounds like Miho is a hustler.
Well, it doesn't matter. Do you ever watch movies? Or TV? Just about everything has a love story in it nowadays, not just books.
Nah, not in a long time.
How long?
She sure asks a lot of questions, and they jump around topics so much too. I don't really mind, but I have to try hard to even remember the answers. All the places I've seen and days I've spent have mostly blurred together in my head.
Not sure. A few years? There was a really big crowd around a window, so I wanted to see what they were all looking at.
And? What was it?
I don't know what it was. I didn't speak the language there yet, and I didn't memorize the sounds. But on TV, there were these people in white suits bouncing around, and the people watching seemed really excited by it.
Aspen gasped.
Did the people on TV, do you remember by chance if the place they were hopping around looked like a desert, all rocky and empty?
Now that you mention it, yeah. How did you know?
She dashes a hand on her forehead in disbelief.
That was the moon landing.
That's crazy.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd remember if the moon landed.
Oop.
Not like that, silly. It was when humans went to the moon for the first time.
Dang, way to state your age.
Wait, they did?
Yes, and you saw it happen, apparently.
They must have had help from the Fabled's magic, right?
No, not this time. It was pure human ingenuity.
Whoa.
You look surprised.
I am. I didn't know humans could do something like that.
Well, not just any human. It took a lot of work from a lot of people. It still does to this day.
You know what I just now realized? The coloring of the characters look like watercolors. Dang, I'm slow.
I can't believe you got to watch it live, though. What was it like?
Had a really good lunch that day.
That's crazy. That makes me a wet dog. No.
Everyone was so distracted that I was able to sneak into a restaurant that usually would have caught me.
She shakes her head. Damn.
That's all you can remember.
It was some kind of pasta dish with a white sauce and lots of cheese.
She had that Alfredo.
I meant about... Oh, never mind. Anyway, I was just going to suggest asking Juliet about putting a TV in your room. Surely there's one in this place somewhere. It would give you something to do, at least. And you don't have to be able to read to enjoy the story of a good show or movie.
Yeah, I might. I definitely need something to do other than walk around town all day.
Let me know if you do. I'll bring over some movies for you to borrow. If I can't recommend books to you, at least I can do that.
Will do. I don't know where else I'd start anyway.
After checking her phone, Aspen stands back
I'll
up.
be more than happy whenever you ask. For now, not to be rude, but I'm going to go write for a little while. I'm working on the last couple chapters of this book before I'm finished, and I want to be done with it as fast as I can.
Oh, sure. Good luck.
To tell the truth, I'm always a bit relieved when someone else ends the conversation for me. I never know how to do it myself. I wave goodbye as Aspen goes off to her table by the window, pen in hand. With a moment, she's hunched over her notebook writing. Oh, we have time to do stuff. Every place we go to has like a little timer, but I guess we're gonna go hang out with Lena, or we're gonna go hang out with Princess Gyokyo. Since I don't have anything better to do, I decide to head back to the park to see Lena. Aspen told me where and when I could find her, although we both know that Lena won't have any idea who I am. Making sure that I see Aspen and Juliet every day is hard enough, as it is. Although I like Lena, I don't think I could put in the effort to have her remember me too. It's crazy. But she saw you yesterday. Yeah, like sometimes this game, like it just some of the things don't make sense. Like what happened yesterday actually happened like 2 days ago. Maybe if she started coming by the library in the mornings like Aspen does, although I'm pretty sure that's the last thing Aspen would ever want to happen. I go back to the park where we played tennis and wandered around searching for Lena. It takes a bit longer since I'm not looking for something as obvious as a tennis court, but I finally find her in a group of people near some trees. This could all be solved by 51st Date style. She looks like a toasted Kasumi. Bruh. All of them, including her, have shovels in their hand and are working on digging holes. Finally, something I'm good at, although compared to tennis, it looks more like a punishment than a hobby. I walk over to Lena, who's barely made a dent in the ground. She waves when she sees me, but not in a familiar way.
Hi there. Here to volunteer?
Maybe? Volunteer for what?
To save the planet, duh! What does it look like we're doing?
Digging in the dirt?
Exactly! We're planting new trees to, help beautify the city of Wellington by promoting natural resources. I think.
She says the second part like she's reading off of a label or sign.
If you want to help out, go talk to Cyrus. He'll get you all set up.
Lena points over at someone that I sort of recognize. The dryad that Lena was watching when we played tennis. Since I'm here, I may as well give it a shot, so I follow her instructions and walk over. Oh, so Lena likes this guy.
Hi there. I'm here to help out.
Welcome aboard. I'm Cyrus. Here's a sapling and a shovel.
Damn, you sound like you don't want to be here. Cyrus holds out a shovel in one hand and a small bucket with a tree in the other. I take them, doing my best not to drop the sapling.
Okay. I'm Miho. What do we do now?
First you dig, then you plant. Then you do that over and over until you get bored and go home.
Dude, why are you here if you don't want to be here, man? Cyrus deserves to get chopped. Can I have your sapling trunk?
That sounds easy enough.
Dang, bro.
Everyone says that at first. Good luck.
He starts to walk away, but then pauses.
Hey, quick question. Are you friends with that girl over there? The one with the wings?
Lena? Sort of.
Can you let me know if she... Actually, never mind. Forget it. Let me know if you need any help.
Okay. This time he really does leave, walking around to check the progress everyone is making. Now that I'm all set up, I take the things he gave me and go back to where Lena is. Damn, Cyrus, can you be a little happy for once? You'll only be happy with the bird on his branch. Maybe, yeah. He probably right there, emo. Nah, he deserves to get used as a dam.
Good to go? Since you're new too, let's have a race. We can see who plants more trees by the end.
No boy. Before I can respond or even think about it, Lena starts furiously hacking at the ground. Dirt flies like when I was building my den. I watch her for a second, then start on my own. I don't really want to compete with Lena, so I go at my own pace. It's a little awkward. I could do this in a second as a fox, but using a shovel feels strange and inefficient. Muscles I didn't even know I had start to feel sore. Only a few minutes later, Lena sprawls to the ground in exhaustion. She's only halfway done at best.
I didn't think it'd be so hard to dig a hole.
Bam. While she's laying there, Cyrus comes around on one of his inspections. He stops and examines both of our handiwork.
Nice job, Miho. You're a natural. Lena? Good effort.
Lena leaps to her feet, using her wings to propel herself into a standing position.
I wasn't taking a break. I was, testing the ground to see if it might be softer over here. Look, this one will be even better.
Before our eyes, Lena starts to attack the ground again, even faster than when she started racing me. Dirt sails over her head as she tossed it away from herself, and some of it falling onto Cyrus's head. He looks strangely resigned.
Just don't hurt yourself, okay? I don't want to have to carry someone to the hospital again.
Damn.
Carrie? I mean, again?
Lena asks questions without stopping her work.
It's a long story. Anyway, just be careful.
As he begins to leave, Cyrus puts a hand on my shoulder. I tense up but manage to not shake it off.
Keep an eye on her, would you?
I nod and Cyrus walks away. As soon as he's out of earshot, Lena comes to a halt.
Miho, right? I need you to break my arm.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Damn, girl, you need to chill the fuck out.
You... what?
Yeah, maybe that's a bit much. Maybe just a finger would be enough.
Jesus, girl. How about we pluck a feather out of your wing and call it a day?
Why would you want to do that?
Oh, you're right! A broken leg would make more sense.
Jesus Christ. I'm not entirely sure we're having the same conversation. I decided to try a different approach.
So, are you and Cyrus friends or something?
Friends? Kind of. Unfortunately.
You don't want to be friends.
I want to be more than that.
Damn. For the first time ever, Lena looks around after speaking. She's worried someone might have heard her.
Like, best friends?
More than that. Like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Damn.
Oh.
If 2 + 2 is 4, and 5 + 5 is 10, what the fuck is this? That explains why I didn't
How's
understand.
that going?
Damn, Miho. She sighs and her wings droop.
Well, you just saw pretty much. I know Cyrus from ballet, but I quit ballet, so I only get to see him at other stuff like this. But he's always trying something new every week, so I do too.
Maybe he's trying to get away from you. You ever thought about that, Lena?
But it's kind of hard to talk to him, especially when he's so busy. When I heard he was gonna come plant trees, I had no idea he'd be in charge. So I can't let him think I'm a slacker or bad at tennis. Not when he already thinks I'm a quitter.
I think I get it.
The one thing I know for sure is that it sounds complicated. Good luck, Lena. The 2 of us go back to shoveling dirt, and eventually we go deep enough that we can plant the saplings Cyrus gave us. I carefully set mine in the ground and then cover it back up the same way I've seen other people doing. When it's time to wrap up, Cyrus makes one last trip around, collecting shovels and handing out water bottles. When he reaches us, he nods approvingly.
Good work, both of you.
Thanks.
I gulped on the water he gives me in just a few swigs.
Yeah, thanks.
On the other hand, Lena still seems a little dejected. She doesn't even try to talk to Cyrus before he leaves. When the 2 of us part ways, she just gives me a half-hearted wave.
See you later.
Yeah, bye.
I'm not even sure what she'll be doing next time, much less when or where. Maybe Aspen will tell me about it again. Digging holes wasn't exactly something I want to do a second time, but planting a tree was satisfying, and I'm kinda curious to see how things go with Lena and Cyrus, if they go at all. Lena's kind of a lot, as Aspen says, but she's nice. I hope everything works out for her at least. Looking around, I notice that I'm the only one left, so I toss my empty bottle in a recycling bin and start making my way back. Oh boy. Oh. I guess do we continue? We'll just continue with Tommy's story, I guess, then. Since, like, sorry, Mr. Kim, or apparently his name is Mr. Kim. But we'll save. Alrighty. Down to Cuba Street we go again. Looking for something to do, I head to Cuba Street to walk around. I don't go shopping very often since I have pretty much everything I could need at the library, but I do like looking around. While I wander, I notice 2 people that I sort of recognize sitting at a table together, Tommy's parents. Last time, the dad introduced himself to me as Elijah. Although I recognize his mom, I never heard her name. Oh no, this is where the divorce is happening, guys. We get to see it live in action and in public. Oh boy. The 2 of them are sitting across from each other, and his mom has her face in her hands. Elijah looks kind of upset, but stays on his side of the table. Tommy and Gerby don't seem to be around. My curiosity gets the better of me, and I sit down close by, where I can hear what they're talking about. Damn.
Gwen, we're still on the same side here. Tommy's side, right?
Ah, her name's Gwen.
I know. It's just. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot.
Yeah. But, we knew it wasn't going to be easy.
At least we were right about that.
Gwen pats her pockets, looking around, and Elijah pulls out a pack of tissues from his own pocket. He offers them to her, and she takes one and blows her nose.
What are we supposed to tell his teacher? This is the third time he's gotten in a fight this month.
Are they talking about Tommy? I can't picture him in a fight. He's way too small. What would he even be fighting about?
Did they say if he won or not?
Priorities.
Elijah!
Sorry. Why don't you talk to the school and let them know that we're dealing with it? And I can talk to T when he's back from your place next time.
Fine. Maybe he'll listen to you better than he'll listen to me.
Maybe. It's a shame we can't get Gerby to talk to him.
Gwen scoffs.
Or anyone. I don't think it's bad for him to have an imaginary friend or anything, but...
Oh, that's right. The other day, Tommy and I ran into someone who was able to see Gerby.
He's talking about me. I scoot a little closer on the bench where I'm sitting to make sure I don't miss anything.
Really? Who was it?
You know, I can't remember. I remember them saying it, but I can't picture their face or voice. I wish I'd gotten a name or something.
So you don't actually know if they saw him or not? They just said they could.
Well, technically. Maybe you're right. I wish I could think of who it was.
I'm tempted to walk over and tell them that it was me, but I don't know what that would accomplish. I don't have any way to prove what I'm saying, and it might just make me come off as crazy. I can only sort of follow along with what they're talking about, but it seems like Tommy is having a lot of trouble, and neither of them know what to do about it. That's not anything I could give advice on or help with either. Sighing, Gwen checks her watch.
Well, I've got to go pick him up. I'll let you know what the teacher says when I talk to her.
All right. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, bye.
Damn. They both stand up, and it seems like they're not sure how to act finally. Gwen gives a stiff wave and walks off down Cuba Street. Maybe they're not divorced, but just separated. Elijah sticks around for a bit longer, sighing like Gwen did and running a hand through his hair. Then he leaves in the opposite direction. Humans and their relationships are complicated. I hope I never have to deal with something like that. Now that the two of them are gone, there's nothing else going on around here. That's very interesting. Eventually, I get up as well and start walking again in search of the next thing that can entertain me for a while. After another day spent entertaining myself around town, I decide to take Aspen's advice and ask Juliet about a TV. The light is on in Juliet's study, meaning she's in there. I knock on the door and get an instant response. The study hasn't changed at all since I was here a couple days ago, except there aren't any bats in the corner this time. It's just me and her.
Hi.
Good evening, Miho. What brings you here?
I'm a little bit worried about how to do this. Usually I just take something I want. Lately I've started saying yes when people offer me things, but going in and just asking for something? Well, I'll have to do it
I
sometime.
had a question. Yesterday, Aspen said I should ask about getting a TV in my room. That way, I'd have something to do.
She didn't ask you yesterday. She asked you earlier today.
Oh, that is a good idea. I take it today wasn't particularly exciting either.
Not really. It was fine. Nothing bad happened. I'm just...
I don't want to say I'm bored. What if she thinks I'm blaming her or ungrateful? I bit my lip trying to think of a better way to put it, but she seems to read my mind.
Bored? It's all right, you can say it. An empty room would be boring for anyone. I believe there should be a television somewhere around. Let's take a look.
I follow behind her out of the office. Juliet takes me down one of the hallways I've never been down, and where I don't think I've ever seen. The lights turned on, we pass by several
What are
doors.
all these rooms?
They've been all kinds of things over the years. Bedrooms, studies, playrooms. But now they're mostly just storage.
We stop in front of one door, indistinguishable from the rest.
I believe this is the one.
It's not locked. Juliet just opens it normally. Inside is dark and dusty. The window is covered with heavy curtains that don't let any light in. In other words, what you expect from a vampire's house. There's tons of junk leaning against the walls, like some faded bicycles, and a dresser that's missing a drawer.
There it is.
Julia points and I see what she's looking at. There's a TV in one corner with its cords wrapped around itself and a thick blanket of dust. We both walk over and I wipe some of the dust away. It immediately blows into my face.
Miho, are you alright?
Still, I back a few steps away. Who's more freaky, Aspen or Juliet? Juliet, apparently you said she was a bit more wilder back in her time. And then Aspen has more, is very more emotional. She's more animated, for sure. She sneezes like a cat. What does the fox say? Yeah, but that's in the past. She's been domesticated. That's crazy. What is it? She got vaccinated. Maybe that's why.
As you can tell, it's been a while since I've come in here.
Much more carefully than me, Juliet cleans off the TV.
I believe it should still work.
Excuse me.
Okay, I can move it to my room then.
It's alright. I can take it.
Much more carefully than me, Juliet cleans the TV. Juliet effortlessly lifts the TV up and begins to carry it to my room.
Whoa.
I know from plenty of experience that TVs aren't exactly easy to
I need
lift.
to remind myself to never piss her off.
I hurry after her, arriving at my room just as she sets the TV down in the corner and plugs it in.
Let's see.
She presses the power button and with a soft buzz, it comes to life.
It works!
Indeed. I'm relieved. Let me try to remember how to use it.
It's kind of slow, but she manages to explain all the different buttons and what they do, and how to use the remote. It doesn't seem that complicated, but also I never learned how to do it either. Once we make sure I'm not gonna die or anything, Juliet leaves me on my own with it. I change through all the channels, getting an idea for what's there is. There are some channels with cartoons, which I know are meant for kids. There are also some shows with real people in them, but they don't make much sense to me, maybe if I watch them from the beginning. There are also plenty of ads. I recognize more products than I do shows. That probably has more to do with my lifestyle than anything else, though. Even flipping through stations constantly, I do find myself having much more fun than if I was just napping or walking around. I see why some humans do this all day. Eventually, I go back to one of the cartoon channels. Even if they're for kids, they're easier to follow along with. I pick one and leave it running, climbing into bed to watch. I end up spending a few hours watching until I fall asleep that night. Having something else to follow along with and think about is a nice distraction from having my own doubts and worries creep up on me. If this is what a normal life is like, then maybe it's something I could get used to after all. Oh boy. Lena is available. We'll save here for now. Save. Alrighty. Before I continue, I'm going to take a quick little break and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Can you use the Nia button for free every time Miho gets flustered? She makes her own noises, so there's no point for her to be played. Plus, I honestly don't know where I put it right now. I think I might have it stored away somewhere. I need to remove a lot of my channel points or redo a lot of my stuff, so sorry. Just make your own noise, emo. Alrighty, let's see. So we will go hang out with Lena. During a conversation with Aspen, she told me about what Lena's next adventure would be, an outdoor painting class. When that time rolls around, I decide to go check it out. Just like the other activities I've tried with Lena, it'll be happening in the park. When I arrive, I don't even have to look around. The class is right next to the entrance. The group is bigger than the ones for tennis and tree planting. Everyone has a big canvas on a stand in front of them, and there are a bunch of paints and brushes in the middle. Lena's easy to find like always, and I see Cyrus is on the other side of the crowd, away from her. It seems like he's not the one in charge today. A friendly person in a paint-stained apron sees me arrive and helps me choose a canvas and some art supplies, and then sends me to find a spot. Naturally, I head over to where Lena is.
Hey, mind if I set up here?
Oh, sure. Are you new here?
Yeah, this is my first time painting.
Me too. Wanna have a Actually, maybe you shouldn't race when you're painting.
I take a peek at what Lena's been working on. It doesn't seem like there's a particular topic, so everyone's painting is different. Lena's painting is a picture of a young swan with a pink flower on its head. It's surprisingly great.
This is amazing for your first time.
Oh, is that maybe what she is? A swan? Or maybe even a dove?
You think so? I mean, of course it is. What are you gonna paint?
I don't know yet. Let's see.
She might be a pigeon. I don't get the brown hair though. Like a shiny. Well, you know, people, like, if you think about it, like Miho is a fox. You don't really see her, but her hair is brown or black. You don't see black foxes. They're normally like red. So I guess like their human versions are just like whatever normal colors can be. Can I name your keyboard? Why would you want to name my keyboard? I mean, what would you even name it? There are a bunch of different size branches and a variety of colors. Having so many options to choose from makes it harder, not easier to decide. Maybe I should go for something simple like a tree. Choosing a brush and a shade of brown, I get to work.
Alright everyone, warm-up's over. Go ahead and find a partner. We're going to work on portraits today.
You're gonna name my keyboard Dan. Okay. Emo. My tree is mostly done by now. It's not very detailed, and it doesn't look like any tree I've ever seen in real life. But at least I can tell what it's supposed to be. When the instructor says to choose a partner, I instinctively turn to Lena, preparing to ask her. But of course, she's looking over in Cyrus's direction. I sigh to myself.
You should go ask him before he ends up with someone else.
It'll mean I have to partner up with a stranger, but as far as Lena's concerned, she and I are already strangers, so it shouldn't make that much of a difference. Damn. Lena jumps in shock.
Whoa, are you a mind reader?
Something like that.
That's so cool. You're right, though. But what if he says no?
Then he says no, I guess. Nothing would have changed, right?
She taps her chin.
You know, you kind of remind me of someone I work with. Anyway, wish me luck.
Good luck.
I watch as Lena goes up to Cyrus and talks to him. Too far away for me to hear. I guess it must have worked out because they soon set up their canvases facing each other. Unfortunately, watching them means that I missed out on my chance to find a partner. When I look around, someone else has matched up with someone. That's more than fine with me, but unfortunately the instructor comes over and invites me to partner up with her, which I grudgingly accept. For the next little while, I struggle to make something that resembles the woman across from me. This would be a lot easier if she looked like a tree. Damn. After 10 or 15 minutes, she claps her hands to get everyone's attention.
Time to change things up. Show your partners what you made, and then go find a new partner.
While everyone gets to that, she brings her canvas over to show me.
Whoa.
It's definitely me. My tail is fluffier in real life, and my ears aren't that big, but I can still recognize myself.
Mine's not even close to that good.
I turn around the canvas so she can see the results. Compared to the painting she made, I'm kind of embarrassed to share. Still, she smiles at
I
it.
think it's lovely. Painting is like anything else. The more you do it, the more you improve. And I've been doing it for a long time. We all have to start somewhere, though.
The moment the instructor and I are done talking, someone taps me on the shoulder. I turn around to see Lena.
Hey, let's be partners.
Sure.
Secretly, I just think to myself about how I'm getting paired up with another good artist. The instructor blows the whistle to signal the start, and Lena and I both get to work.
So, how'd it go?
How'd what go?
I know she can't have forgotten me that quickly.
Talking to Cyrus.
Oh, that.
Using a few shades of pink and white, I managed to paint something that looks passably close to Lena's clothes, if I squint a little at least.
I got too nervous to really say much, so we just painted each other until it was time to switch.
In the middle of a brushstroke, Lena suddenly drops her brush in horror.
What if he thinks I'm boring?
I don't think anyone could think that about you.
Yeah, but what if he does? This is not good.
Leaving the paintbrush in the grass, Lena closes her eyes and puts her finger to the side of her head, like she did back at tennis. She must do that for at least a minute while I keep working on my painting. It looks more like Lena than my last one looked like the painting instructor, but I already know her wings are going to give me trouble.
Okay, got it. I need you to do me a favor.
What is it?
When we change partners again, I need you to go partner up with Cyrus, and then you can ask him what he thinks about me. Don't just straight up ask him, though. That'd be too obvious. Try to see if you can get him to say it without saying it.
Bruh.
Say it without saying it?
Yeah, you know, like,
She makes a few gestures that remind me of charades, but I have no idea what she's trying to say.
Okay, I'll try.
Thanks, I owe you one.
I'm not even motivated by that because it's not like she'll remember long enough for me to ever cash it in. I just wanted to see what happens.
All right, new partners. This'll be the last time.
Miho's ears bother me. It makes things of a sheep and not a fox. They should be on top of her head. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Here, this is my painting of you. It's better than the last one.
But if you think about it, probably because, like, you know, for humans, that's where our ears are at. So as an animal, it replaces their ears with that. Probably that's why they're there. But I wonder if it's like the same thing if there was a bunny creature. Like, would their ears be on the side like that too? Blah. It still isn't great, but I like the way some parts of it turned out.
Ooh, I look great.
Looking down at her own canvas, Lena frowns.
I, kind of forgot to paint you.
Bruh.
So, I guess I owe you 2 things.
It's fine.
Cool. Okay, hurry, before someone else takes him.
That's crazy. I walk over to Cyrus as fast as I can without being self-conscious about it. Fortunately, he was distracted with something himself, so he's still on his own.
Hey, wanna be partners?
Alright. I'm sure it's a total coincidence you were just talking with Lena, right?
Damn, he caught on quick. But you wouldn't put a cat girl's ears on the side, would you? I mean, if they were a true cat girl, like how... Probably in this universe they would, but we haven't seen a cat character. Because even this guy, like Cyrus, his ears aren't normal human ears, right? But they're in the place of where human ears are.
Not at all.
I appreciate the honesty. Anyway, let's get started.
Both of us set up our canvases. I feel a little more in my comfort zone painting Cyrus. At the same time, excuse me, I try to think of what to do. Lena asked.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Uh-oh. I mean, what is it?
There's something that I want to ask Lena, but I don't know how she'll take it. We've known each other for a bit, but that's why I'm worried. I mean, I kind of know her feelings, but not that well.
Uh-oh.
So, and maybe don't ask her this outright. Maybe you can try to see how she feels by, like...
He makes some vague hand gestures and eventually turns into a shrug.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, nobody fucking knows what you mean. If you ask a girl any of that, she'll probably be like, the fuck are you talking about? They're both such bottoms. That's crazy. No, I don't.
Anyway, what I want to know is...
A shrill whistle blows, cutting Cyrus
All right,
off.
That's it. Time to show him off.
I rub my ears to recover from the sound before waiting for Cyrus to continue.
Actually, never mind. It was dumb anyway.
Oh my god.
Here's what I made. Ta-da!
Cyrus spins his canvas around to reveal.
Phew.
I can't help but breathe a sigh of relief. He's just as bad as a painting as I am. I show him my equal unimpressive work. It's messy and scattered.
Nice job. You really captured the way I feel inside.
I want to press him on what he was going to say because this is the second time he's almost asked me about Lena, then changed his mind. Before I can ask, though, Lena herself comes hurrying over, carrying her canvas. She walks up and shoves it into Cyrus's hand before he can even react.
I made this for you so you'd have
Damn. Immediately she zips off back the way she came. Oh, Jesus. Way to be enthusiastic about it, Cyrus. I mean, unless this is the case where Lena's harassing Cyrus and he's just not into her, but I don't know. He's not very straightforward with what he wants. He holds the portrait out at arm's length where he can see it. I move behind him to get a good view as well. Just like Nina's picture of the swan, her picture of Cyrus is really good. It shows him looking thoughtful as he works on his own painting, biting his lip in concentration. There's a lot of detail in his eyes and face, and on the leafy vein that runs up his neck.
Whoa. This is...
Really good?
yeah.
The two of us looks around to try to find Lena, but she's nowhere to be seen. She must have left right away, or she's hiding somewhere.
What was it you wanted me to ask her?
Cyrus just shakes his head, still looking at the painting.
It's fine. I need to ask her myself.
Finally. All of us minus Lena help the instructor clean everything up, with some people taking home their portraits and others tossing them. Cyrus and I say goodbye to each other, but we never talk anymore about Lena. Still, even if it's a while before we hang out again, I have a feeling I haven't heard the last of this. Oh boy. Oh boy, time for more struggling parents time. Hooray! I'm lazing around at the library, relaxing in one of the comfy chairs near the shelves when the door opens. Two humans that I recognize walk in. Gwen leading Tommy by the hand, of course. Gerby is floating above them. The three of them go right past me, and Gwen takes a seat at an empty table close by.
I'm gonna be right here. Remember not to go too far away, okay?
Who is this? Where's the redheads? The lady is the mom. Tommy's mom.
I know.
Smiling, Gwen kisses Tommy on the forehead and he makes a grossed out face. Then she pulls out a pen and some papers and spreads them out on the desk, sighing as she starts to look over them. Damn. I watch as Tommy, accompanied by Derby, looks around the kids section for a bit. He pulls a couple of books off the shelves, but puts them back without opening them. Finally, he wanders over to the edge of the library and gets down on his hands and knees, crawling along the floor. I don't have anything better to do right now, so I go over to where he is as well. I nod at Gerby as I do.
What you doing?
Tommy's startled at the sound of my voice, but then holds up one finger to shush me.
You're not supposed to talk so loud. We're in a library.
Can Tommy fight? Builds character. Oh no. Great, even kids are telling me off now.
I'm looking for spiders, though. Spiders, huh? Why? 'Cause they're cool?
Now that I think about it, he was trying to find bugs one of the first times I met him. I wonder if that one that I caught for him is doing okay. Probably not, if I'm being honest. It's probably dead.
Are you collecting them?
Yeah! Do you like bugs too?
Not really. They're okay, though.
I've eaten a few when I had no other options, but I don't think he wants to hear that.
Nobody does, except me. Everyone thinks they're gross and creepy. But you don't.
That's why I like them. Wanna help me look?
I'm not very interested in catching spiders, but Juliet might count it as helping to clean up a bit.
Sure, why not? I think I know where some are.
Whoa, really?
Yeah! There's this one corner that's really dusty.
Derby follows us as I take Tommy to the corner in question. Although Juliet keeps the library pretty clean, there are some spider webs and dirt between one of the shelves and the wall.
Wow, you were right! Gerby, come help me look!
Not two of you trying to get the parents' digits. That's crazy. Derby floats down to Tommy's eye level.
Gerby's my friend. You can't see him, but he's here with us.
Cool!
I don't feel like explaining that I can in fact see him right now. Tommy closes one eye and peeks into the crevice, looking for bugs.
Actually, Gerby's my only friend. I met him when I was looking for a beetle. He looks like a flower, but he's not. If I do find any spiders, I have to get two so they're not alone. Especially if they're married. If they have any kids, then that would make their kids be really sad too.
Oh my god, Tommy. I have to think that being taken away to be part of a collection would make them sad, but I kept that to myself. I crouch down to help Tommy look. There are some scraps of paper and dusty pens on the ground, and plenty of spider webs above them. No spiders in them from what I can tell, though.
Do you know where else they are?
I don't want to take him too far away. Best to stay in the main part of the library.
Maybe up front?
If any came through the door, they might have set up close by. We go over and start looking, with Tommy inspecting the floor and behind the furniture. I poke around as well, checking some of the corners. As I watch him crawl around, it's hard to imagine him getting into fights like I overheard his parents talking about. He seems like a nice enough kid.
Oh, found one!
Tommy's laying down on the ground, pointing under a bookshelf. Both Gerby and I go over to see.
Look, see it?
Sure enough, I can see some kind of spider hiding in the back.
I see it. Are you gonna catch it?
Looks sort of scary.
It could still be nice, but I don't know how to reach it. Maybe if we come back later, it'll be easier to get.
Tommy spends a while hunting the rest of the library for more bugs, and I follow behind him for some of it. Eventually, Gwen straightens out all her papers over her table and then comes to collect Tommy. She's collecting her kid! The wording in this game sometimes, man.
Tommy, what are you doing down there? You're gonna get all dirty.
Looking for spiders. This lady was helping me.
Gwen notices me and I wave.
I'm sorry. I hope you weren't too distracted.
Don't worry, I live here.
Oh, that's convenient.
The two of us watch Tommy for a second, who still hasn't given up on the spider by the door. Gwen sighs.
Thanks for keeping him company. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends his age to play with. Meanwhile, I'm trying to study for grad school and raise a kid and work a job and get a divorce all at once.
Oh, so they are getting a divorce. Damn, that's crazy.
Well, not that any of that's your problem.
Gwen tries to rub her eyes and ends up almost dropping the papers she's carrying. She kind of reminds me of Aspen, the way she seems like she's holding in a lot more than she's letting out. Damn.
That's okay. I don't mind.
By tomorrow, she won't remember telling me any of this, so if saying it helps her to feel better, then it doesn't really bother me one way or another. With a tired smile, Gwen rearranges the thing she's holding so that she has free
Come on,
hand.
Tommy. We need to get going.
Fine.
Tommy looks under one last bookshelf and then finally stands up. Gwen leans down to dust Tommy's knees and pants before taking his hand.
Thanks again. If you live here, I guess we'll probably see you around. I've got a lot of studying I need to do, so I'm sure we'll be back. Say bye, Tommy.
Bye! If you see any cool bugs, save them for me!
That's crazy.
Bye!
Derby waves goodbye to me as he floats out the door with the humans. I can't help but feel a little bad for Tommy and Gwen, and for Tommy's dad as well. It seems like both parents are doing their best, but Tommy has his own problems too. And without even trying, I know more about all of them than they're aware of. I have a feeling that won't change, especially if they're going to be back frequently, like Gwen said. Now that I'm on my own again, I return to the chair I was occupying before and settle down for a proper nap. Me. After having dinner and saying goodnight, I head upstairs and get ready for bed. As I flick off the lights and start to leave the restroom, something in my reflection catches my attention. My bead is glowing slightly. Just barely. It's so faint that I can only notice it in the darkness. Removing the necklace, I inspect it more closely. They're warm. Not just my magical bead, but the regular ones next to it too. Not as warm as when I use my transformation magic, but enough that after hundreds of years of carrying them, I can detect the difference. I'm not sure what it means. Everything about my magic has always been a mystery to me. Really, some things like transforming I just know how to do instinctively from the beginning. But other than the fact that my bead always comes back to me, no matter where I leave it, I don't know much about it. Returning to my room, I brush my hair to the side and put the necklace back on. I don't have to wear it when I sleep, but it feels more uncomfortable not having it on, like something's missing. When I climb into bed, I pull the covers up to my chin like always. Rather than transforming, I just lay there, staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow is my first day of work. Never in a few hundred years have I expected that thought to ever cross my mind. Laying here in the place that I've started thinking of as a home, the idea doesn't seem that scary. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm scared too. Maybe I'll be really good at it. It'd be nice to be good at something other than thieving. As my eyes begin to get heavy, it occurs to me that usually I'd have changed into a fox by now, Except for the first night when I was too tired, I spent all my nights here in that form. But tomorrow, I'm taking another big step into people life, so it feels more appropriate to stay this way. Rolling onto my side, I face out the window and I let myself succumb to sleep, with the gentle warmth of my beads against my neck. Me. The morning of my first day of work, I wake up extra early, at least an hour before Aspen will be here. I crept through the house so Juliet can't hear me and slip out the front door. Outside it's wet. I don't know if it's the rain or just the morning dew. There's more dark than sunlight still, but I can already see that the clouds overhead are gray. Just 2 weeks ago, that would have been a cause for concern. Now it's barely worth thinking about. I have somewhere warm to go back to. I start walking, taking a familiar path. Has it really only been 2 weeks? I feel like I've done more living in the past few days than in all the years before them. Every day something new, and every evening something secure. It's a life I could have only ever dreamed about. It scares me how fast I've slipped into it. I spent my whole life alone. I devoted my entire existence to keeping it that way. But now, ever since meeting Aspen and Juliet, I'm not sure I like being on my own quite as much. It feels like I'm losing part of myself, my armor, my defense mechanism, like I'm getting weaker. And maybe that's true, but also maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay to let myself be a little more vulnerable, just a little. There's no one else to be seen on Mount Victoria as I make my way up the path. Instead of going straight to the top, I veer off into the underbush. I haven't been back to my den since Juliet came and found me. I haven't forgotten the way, though. All the rain since then has done a number on the den. It's barely recognizable since most of it collapsed into mud. In other words, it hasn't changed much since the last time I was here. Overhead, the birds chirp in the trees before the ones I feed up before.
Morning, birdies. Sorry I don't have anything for you today.
It doesn't stop them from asking. Half-heartedly, I try scooping away some of the mud from the mouth of the den, but more just slides down, erasing my progress. Then one of the walls collapsed even more, making things worse.
Well, so much for that.
It's well and truly ruined. That's okay though, I don't think I'll be coming back here. Just 2 weeks ago, this was all I had. Now it doesn't feel like anything. Maybe that's okay too. I turn about to head back to the main path, then there's a rustle of a branch and something comes out from the bush. She walks confidently for a fox. She trots right out of the bushes and crosses in front of me, then freezes mid-step. Her fur is pure silver except for a patch of black across her face and paws. We lock eyes. Instinctively, I can feel myself prepared to transform so I can greet her as a fox, but I hesitate. Is that still my place? I'd be lying if I called myself a fox now, at least fully. I relax, not having noticed how tense I was. My beads also go cold, although they barely started to heat up.
Hi there.
I say it as a person instead, same as when greeting the birds. At the sound of my voice, the fox turns tail and runs. She doesn't give it a second thought. 1 second she's there, and the next she's almost out of sight. I can feel a pull in my chest telling me to run after her. I'm sure I could still catch her if I tried. Of course I don't. I'm not the kind of person who goes chasing after foxes anymore. Instead, I watch her disappear. It doesn't take long, not even the grass rustles behind her. I'm sure I'll still transform into a fox in the future. I love it too much not to, but I have to set some boundaries for myself. Watching her go fills me with a pang of longing, but also confidence. I'm making a choice to live this way. Even if I regret it later, at least I thought about it. At least I'm trying. I make my way back to the trail and up to the top of Mount Victoria. Coming up here never ceases to amaze me, no matter the weather or time of day. The view is always stunning. Right now it's just me and the breeze. I close my eyes and spread my arms out, letting the wind ripple through my hair and jacket. For a moment, I just let myself go and appreciate how it feels to exist, to be alive and enjoying the breeze. I'm pretty lucky, aren't I? Slowly, I open my eyes again, looking out over the city spread before me. The first time I came up here, I thought it felt kind of small. After all, I can see the whole thing from here. But now it strikes me how big it is, how big and how full there are more people than there are buildings. And there are plenty of buildings, humans and fabled, all living and existing. Up until now, it's been easy for me to forget that people exist just like I do, that they have thoughts and feelings and things that they want, rather than just being problems to solve or obstacles to avoid. Now I can't help but notice just how alive the world around me is. Even at this early hour, I may be alone up here, but there's plenty of activity down in the city. I fumble around in my pockets until I find the right size coin and feed it into the binoculars nearby. I scan over the city, looking for anything that I recognize. Finding the fishing spot is easy, since all I have to do is follow the coast. The whole pier is already covered in fishermen. From there, I managed to find the bell house. Its windows are dark and it doesn't stand out much. I wonder if Aspen will be the first one there again today. After the bell house, I aim the lens at the library. The windows are dark there too, of course, including the window in my room. I pause on that image, just my window, framed in the middle of the lenses. From all the way up here, I can spot a tiny little place that I can call my own. I stare at it until the shutter clicks and the view goes dark. Just 2 weeks ago, I stood up here and wondered if I'd better be off leaving. I'm glad that I have an answer to that now. I turn around and begin the long walk home. The library is still dark when I get back, but I can hear the low murmur of conversation from the kitchen. As I step through the doorway, I found both Aspen and Juliet ready to be seated at the table, waiting for me. Breakfast is already cooked, too. There's a lot more food than usual.
Ah, Miho, welcome back.
There you are. We were wondering where you'd gone off to.
Morning! Just went out for a walk. Sorry if you thought I ran away again.
Aspen shakes her head, pouring herself a cup of coffee as I sit
The
down.
thought crossed my mind, but I didn't really believe it. You've got a big day today, right?
You can say that again. Went on my walk just to clear my head.
I hope you're excited too. I'm happy for you, even if I am a teensy bit jealous.
Aspen spoons a tiny scoop of sugar into her coffee and steers it. Wait, is that how you're supposed to do it? I'll have to remember in case Juliet ever makes me drink tea
A
again.
teensy bit of jealousy is a good motivator to work even harder myself.
Actually, about that...
Juliet, you had better not be about to offer me a job.
Rather the opposite. I have a favor to ask. Just for today, do you think you could assist Miho as she gets her bearings? It's getting near my bedtime, and while I'm sure Miho would be able to handle herself, I imagine a helping hand would make things easier. That is, assuming Miho doesn't mind.
Of course not!
Both of us look at Aspen expectantly. She bites her lip and tries to hide her smile behind her cup of coffee as she takes a sip.
Well, I suppose I could spare the time.
Great! But what about the Bell House? You didn't get fired, did you?
They'd go out of business the day they fire me, and they know that. But I enjoy how that's your first assumption.
I like Aspen. She's so snippy.
No, I simply swapped shifts with someone, so I don't have to go in until later.
Wow, that's convenient.
And much to our benefit. Thank you, Aspen.
Don't mention it.
Then, shall we turn our attention to breakfast instead?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
There's the usual eggs and toast and fruit, but there are also pancakes and hash browns too.
You really went all out, huh?
I felt today merited a bit of a celebration of you and the start of another chapter of your life.
Aw, thanks. It's really all because of you two, though. I'm just...
Oh, quit saying that. You need to give yourself more credit, Miho. We can only try to help show you the path. You're the one who has to follow it.
Whoa, who wrote that?
Nobody. I do occasionally have my own thoughts, you know. Anyway, just accept the compliment and let's eat.
Miho has no thoughts. Her head is completely empty.
Fine.
We all fill our plates and start to eat. Breakfast is as delicious as always. The pancakes are still warm and dripping with melted butter and syrup, and the hash browns are nice and crispy. Ooh, I kind of want pancakes now.
How is it?
Great! I've never had hash browns that weren't soggy before.
Sometimes it's because they were leftovers I scavenged, but sometimes even when they're fresh. Ew.
I'll be sure to remember you like them this way. Oh, and the pancakes you made are delightful, Aspen.
You made these?
Don't sound so shocked. I have to do a lot of baking and prep work at the Bell House.
They're really, really good.
Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying them.
What did you send me, Eva? How to be happy. Stop having thoughts. That's pretty much Miho right now. As tasty as they are, they end up being more food than I can eat. I force myself to finish the pancakes even though I'm full by the time I'm halfway done with them because I don't want Aspen to take it personally, but eventually I have to throw my fork down in defeat.
Did you get enough to eat, Miho?
More than enough. I think I'm set for the rest of the day.
Google Chrome, huh? All day, every day.
I'm sure you'll feel differently by lunchtime.
And there's no greater compliment to the cooks.
The three of us start to clear away the dishes, and I start to feel a little apprehensive as opening time draws near. I spent enough time in the library to know I don't need to worry too much, but I can't help but be anxious. There are a lot of little details to remember, not just which book goes where, but stuff like names and special requests too. I already know I'm not going to be the fastest since I just have to copy words and see which ones match instead of being able to read them. With all the practice and memorization I've done, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. So instead of dwelling on it, I make myself focus on rinsing the dishes, making sure I don't miss any spots. On the other hand, Aspen is positively buzzing with excitement, although I can tell she's trying to hide it. She flits in from task to task, straightening things that don't need to be straightened, and tidying up parts of the kitchen that aren't dirty. She hums to herself as she goes, sometimes popping up beside me or Juliet. And of course, Juliet herself is the same as ever, calm and stoic. I thought she might be a bit worried about leaving the library in our hands, but considering she leaves it unstaffed most of the time, maybe not. At the very least, I'm determined to not leave the library any worse than there's nobody running it. Finally, we finish all cleaning up and
Thank
chores.
you for your assistance. Are you two ready?
Yes, whenever.
Yep.
Let's get the two of you set up then.
Juliet leads us to the front desk where there's a fresh stack of checkout sheets and a jar of pens, plus the computer for looking things up.
I did a once-over before breakfast to make sure everything was as it should be. I'm sure the two of you know your way around the place by now, and that's really all there is to it. And if you feel the need, don't hesitate to wake me.
Don't worry, we'll be fine. I'm like Cinderella. I intend to live my dreams for the precious few hours that I can.
Do you have any questions, Miho? Or anything you'd like to go over again?
Nah, I'm fine. I've done all the prep I can.
Alright then. If the two of you are all set up, then I'll be off to bed. I'll see you in a few hours.
Have a good sleep.
Good night.
With a final wave, Juliet goes upstairs and disappears into her room. From behind the desk, Aspen places her hands on her hips and looks around like a queen surveying her kingdom.
And now we wait.
I take a seat in one of the two chairs and kick my feet back and forth after pacing around a little bit. Aspen sits down too, twirling a pen between her fingers.
Nervous?
A little bit.
It's understandable. I was nervous on my first day of work too. I'm sure everyone is.
I just don't want to mess anything up. Especially not on my first day.
Relax, it'll be fine. Not that I think you will, but even if you do make a mistake, that's natural. It's how you get better at things, by doing them wrong until you figure out the right way. There's not much that can really go wrong, either. It's not like at a restaurant where there are customers paying money and with all kinds of different orders. If it takes you some extra time to find a book or put one away, that's no big deal.
Yeah, I know you're right, but I still worry. I don't want to do such a bad job that Juliet changes her mind about me or something.
Are you still worried about that? Juliet adores you. You could burn the whole library down and she'd still let you live in the ashes.
That's crazy.
That'd be closer to what I'm used to, at least.
Right, you and your dramatic backstory.
Aspen's like, your story ain't shit.
My what?
Backstory? Life story? Whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't make light of it.
Oh, it's fine. I don't mind. Just forget that you think it's interesting.
I hope someday you understand why. Maybe you'll hear a story that resonates with you and makes you want to know more, or get to know that person better.
She pokes me in the side with her
Like
pen.
me, when I met you.
I guess that makes sense. Like when I talked to you and Juliet.
Juliet, perhaps. Even I don't know much about her life before she came to Welly, and even that is fuzzy.
And you?
I know this makes me sound like a hypocrite, but there really isn't much to say about my past. For one thing, I don't have nearly as many years as you two. But also, I had a boring, normal childhood in a boring, normal town. I went to a boring, normal school for a while before I moved out here, hoping for a change of pace. But now I live a boring, normal life, just in a different city.
I'll bet I wouldn't think it's boring. I don't even know what a normal town and normal school are like.
Aspen opens her mouth to say something, but right as she does, the front door opens and Aspen leaps to her feet.
Good morning!
The guest, a red-haired human, looks surprised.
Oh, hello. Wasn't aware there was anyone working this early.
I'm just helping out today. But Miho here is the library's new daytime caretaker.
Hi there.
I wait, but I'm not sure if there's anything else I'm supposed to say. Luckily, Aspen seems to have it covered.
Let us know if there's anything we can do to help.
Cool. Congrats, Miho. I'm just here to browse. Thanks, though.
Enjoy!
She gives him a bright smile as he walks in and heads to the books before taking her seat again.
Good job! Thank you. Why don't you greet the next guest?
Do I have to do that for everyone who comes in?
No, but a smile and greeting never hurt. Although we'll have to keep the volume down.
Right.
The door opens again and a pair of twin dryads enter. I stand up, my legs feeling just a little shaky.
Hi! Let us know if we can help.
Neither of them speak, but they both smile graciously and nod in acknowledgement as they pass by us.
See? That wasn't so bad, was it?
No, but so far no one's needed any help.
True. Let's see who we get next.
We don't have to wait long. A breathless man carrying a stack of books stagger his way over to us.
Do you work here? Can you check these in for me? I'm running late as it is. Thanks.
Damn. Before we can even answer, he drops his books on the desk and hurries back out the
I
door.
wonder why he was in such a rush.
No clue, but I respect him still taking the time to drop off his returns. Do you want to start writing them down?
Sure.
Taking a deep breath, I grab the top book and a pen. The title isn't too long, fortunately. Slowly, I start copying the letters down. First a curve, then a straight line, then a loop, then an arch.
Hello, welcome.
I didn't even hear the door open this time. As more people start to come in, Aspen and I both end up pretty busy. The pile of books that need to be checked in grows fast, and I have to start taking some of them back to the shelves as I go, just to make space. By using a little chart with the alphabet and numbers on it, I'm able to slowly match the labels on the book to their spot on the shelves. As the library gets busier, though, I start making some educated guesses about where certain books belong, and putting them with others that look similar. I can fix it later if I have to.
Leo, could you give me a hand, please?
Over at the desk, the line of people has gotten pretty long. I have no idea why all these people normally did when there wasn't anyone to help them. I shove the rest of the stack I'm carrying into an empty shelf and hurry over to help. After finishing with one guess, she hands me a few handwritten notes and labels numbers on them.
Can you go find these? I think one was returned today, so it might not be on the floor yet. Also, these ones were checked out in the wrong name, so they need to be corrected on the sheet. These 3 here are going to be picked up later, but we've been asked to pull them ahead of time, so make sure not to get them mixed up with the others. Okay?
Damn.
Got it. Maybe.
You've got this.
With a little cheer, she goes back to assisting people. I watch for just a moment. She's clearly in her element here. Even with the line growing longer, Aspen doesn't seem to be getting nervous. I can't say the same about myself, though. There's no time to waste. I bounce around the library, trying to find the books Aspen wrote down. It takes a while, and I get the instructions mixed up a few times, but eventually I manage to track them all down. When I bring them up to the desk, and stack of returns has gotten almost as tall as I am, so I start checking them in as quickly as I can. Meanwhile, Aspen has moved around to the front to give me more space to write and work. Dang. I don't know if I would be able to work at a library with like so many different titles and like categories. Like, I feel like that's a lot more, like, you have to know your inventory well for that.
Alright, let's see.
I grab the top book and start to copy, then the next, and then the one after that. Before long, they all start to blend together, and the letters seem to swirl and move around on the pages. I thought this was going to be easy, but it's making my brain feel like soup. I'm determined to push through it, though, even if it takes me forever, which at this rate, it just might. If Aspen weren't here, I don't know what I'd do, or what I'll even do tomorrow on my own. I can worry about that later, though. For now, I can keep doing the best I can. Book after book, line after line, guess after guess. It gets easier as the day goes on, but I wouldn't say it gets easy. But Aspen and I keep going, and eventually we do start to get things under control and keep the chaos to a minimum. It's tough work, but not too tough. Maybe Aspen was right about something. The more I try, the more I feel like I can do this. Ooh, we have a new chapter. Hooray! It depends on the library. Most I've seen are be at your own pace, and they let you take your time doing your tasks as long as you're not slacking too much. But yay, we're at the new chapter. Chapter 3. do you mean, chapter 2? Chapter 3, Old Scars and New Friends. And we got an achievement. Old Scars and New Friends. Begin chapter 3.
Thanks. You too.
The kind old man takes his books under his arms and shuffles out of the library, a whoosh of cooling air passing over me as the door opens and shuts.
Finally, time for a break.
With no one else waiting to be helped, I glance around at the dozen or so people milling about before plopping myself down into the cushion that Juliet set up for me behind the desk. Who knew that working would be such hard work? These past few weeks since I started helping out at the library, it's been a bit of a blur. There's always so much to do. At least most of it's pretty easy, like straightening out furniture or putting things away when they get left out. I don't know what the big deal is. I think it looks better when it's a little messy, but it's what Julia asked me to do, so I do it. Talking to patrons, Aspen taught me that word, is getting easier as well. The first few times someone came up for me for help, I was so nervous I could barely speak. There's so much to remember and still so much to learn. I still don't like talking to people in general, but it feels easier now. I get a little anxious when I see someone walking up to the counter, but it's not too bad. Of course, everyone who comes up thinks it's my first day there, even though I started to recognize some of the regulars. They never recognize me. Aspen's the only one who comes by every day. What I didn't expect was that the hardest part would be checking out books to people. There's a sheet of paper with a bunch of little boxes in them, and I'm supposed to write the names of each person and the book they're taking. Since I have to copy the letters by hand each time, it takes me a while if someone has a lot of books, or ones with really long titles, then it takes me even longer. Sometimes people get a little impatient, but I'm going as fast as I can. Either way, it makes the day go by faster. I couldn't really call it fun, but I don't hate it either. Having a bit of money that I earned rather than stole feels surprisingly good too. At least I don't have to worry about someone trying to take it back. I hear the front door open again and look up to greet the new person, like Julia taught me. It turns out to be a familiar face, my nerves settling a little as the sight of her.
Hey, Miho. Hi, Aspen.
Oops, something I forgot. I'm not supposed to be loud here.
Hi, Aspen.
I say it again, but quieter. She comes up to the desk and sets down a couple of books that she just checked out a few days ago.
Whoa. Done already?
One of them I simply couldn't put down because I had to know how the story ends. I was worried it would have a sad conclusion, but the ghost girl becomes real and gets to stay with her girlfriend, and they all live happily ever after.
She was reading a Yuri story herself. Nice.
The other book was unreadable, unfortunately. I won't be trying that author again.
Oof.
It's too bad. Should I tell Julia we can get rid of this one?
Well, it's not that terrible. I'm sure someone out there could enjoy it, just not me.
If you say so.
It seems to me like if Aspen doesn't like a book, then that book must be really, really bad. Maybe I'll ask Julia about it later anyway. For now, I start copying the titles down to the return sheet, while Aspen goes off to find a new book. She comes back right as I'm finishing up, with a small stack in her hands.
You find books as fast as you finish them.
If only I knew exactly what I was looking for this time.
She hands me the pile and I begin writing the names down. I can feel her watching me as my hand makes each slow line.
Say, Miho.
I have to finish the letter I'm working on before I can pay attention to Aspen.
Yeah?
Have you,
She wrings her hands looking like she's not sure how to ask her question. Aspen seems to think a lot before she speaks, so I've learned that sometimes it's easier to just make her spit it out.
Just say it. I don't mind.
Sure enough, her eyes widen, but she stops fidgeting.
Have you ever considered learning to read and write? It would probably save you quite a bit of time.
I look down at the mess of scribbles on the paper in front of me. Even though I wrote them, they don't mean anything to me. Juliet never seemed to have an issue though, so it's good enough for me.
Not really. I've gotten by fine without it so far.
Oh, come on. You can't keep using that excuse for everything. You've been here for more than a month now.
Well...
She does have a point there. I told myself so many times that I was going to stop letting my past define me. But still, reading and writing? It would be useful, it's true. With so many letters though, it seems like a lot of work. And I'm already doing a lot of work as it is.
I don't even know how to start doing that.
I'd be happy to help you, and I'm sure Juliet would too. She'd be delighted if you picked it up.
Her usual quiet voice starts to raise, only adding to my doubts.
I'll think about it, I guess.
No, I won't take no for an answer. I'll do some research when I get home and bring some materials later. We can make a lesson plan and a schedule and...
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't I get any say in this?
You didn't say no, and that's enough for me.
Oop.
Oh, but that isn't what I came here to talk to you about.
Aren't you here to get books?
Right, that too. But anyway...
Aspen reaches into her purse and pulls out a slightly crumpled flyer, which she hands to me, looking at the glossy cover covered in pictures of little vases and statues, and other odd-looking things.
There's an exhibition at Te Papa about Korean history and culture, for a limited time only. I thought you might be interested in seeing it.
An exhibit at your dad?
At your dad.
Oh, it's our biggest museum. Te Papa is one of the most interesting places in Wellington, perhaps even New Zealand as a whole.
Okay, good. Yeah, we got that right. They are in New Zealand.
You can enter for free, so that isn't a concern. Look, there's even a map of how to get there on the back.
After I flip the flyer over, she points to a map of Wellington that's very similar to the one I used on my first day here.
This is the Bell House, so you just go up this road, turn here, then here.
I nod as she explains, but it isn't really necessary. I may not be able to read, but I can at least use a map.
Anyway, it's only open when I'm at work, so I won't be able to join you. But I imagine you might appreciate having some time to yourself too.
Now that you mention it... yeah...
It's been a long time since I've really had a moment to myself, other than when I go to bed. I'm always around Aspen or Juliet, or the patrons at the library. That's another big change in me. I'm noticing them more and more these days.
I'll check it out. Thanks. Maybe they'll have something that can help me find my person.
Aspen smiles, but it's a thin smile, like she once again holding back from saying something. This time, however, she doesn't give me a chance to make her say it.
Perhaps, yes. Right, well, I need to get back to work. My break will be over soon. I just wanted to pick these up so I have something to read during any downtime at my shift. I'll see you this evening after I look up some reading resources. Tell Juliet I said hello.
Will do. Bye!
With a smile, Aspen blows a kiss, then quickly spins around and heads out the door, leaving me standing about with the flyer in my hands. Without any patrons waiting around, I take a closer look at some of the artifacts on the pages. Most are cracked and worn with age, but still have a little color to them. A couple have writing on them that I can tell is a different language from one I've been getting used to copying here. In a way, they seem kind of familiar. Not just familiar, but nostalgic, like they're related to a memory that's just out of reach. I don't know if it'll bring me any news, or any answers, but maybe there'll be something interesting to see.
Hiya. I've got these to check out, please.
I quickly turned the pamphlet into my pockets, turning to greet the younger boy eagerly waiting at the counter with several books to check
You
out.
got it.
I lift the first book of the stack and slowly begin my process. Baby Aspen's lessons won't be so bad after all. Closing time finally comes around, the patrons slowly trickling out. Some of them linger for a while, making their final selections before bringing them up to the counter. Fortunately, Juliet's here to help me, or it'd take me all night to get through the line of people waiting.
Thank you very much, Miss Callahan. We'll see you next time. Oh, Dottie. Glad to see you're still reading Pullman. Only one left to go in the series. Bye-bye, Abdul. Bye-bye, Jamar.
In the time it takes me to finish writing down one person's checkouts, Juliet can get 5 through 5. She even knows everyone by name, as well as their reading habits. That always impresses me. How does she keep track of all of them? We finally managed to get through everyone, a sigh of relief escaping as the last patron heads out.
Thank you.
My ears prick up at the sound of Aspen's voice as the patrons hold the door open for her.
Sorry, we're closed.
Aspen hesitates for a moment as she walks up to the desk, but then she laughs.
You almost had me for a moment.
I collapse into my cushion while Juliet puts everything away under the desk.
Excellent work today, Miho. You're getting better and better.
Am I? It doesn't really feel like it.
It can be hard to notice your own progress sometimes, but I promise it's there.
And it's only going to get better. Look what I brought.
She raps her knuckles against the pile of thin books she brought with her. There's also a small bag that rattles when she moves it.
Are those? Yes, they're the phonic books I said I'd bring by.
Phonics? Why, Miho? Have you decided to learn to read?
Well, Aspen decided for me, but I guess so.
I pick up one of the books from Aspen's pile. The words on it are big and written in a very simple style, and so are the pictures that go along with it. I spent enough time in the library now to recognize that these kind of books are meant for little kids. But I guess that's where I need but I guess that's what I need, isn't it? It's embarrassing, but maybe I can just use that as motivation to learn faster. And if I end up hating it, I can just quit. Like always, I have the option of running away from something I don't like. Still holding the book, I look up to see Julia and Aspen both watching me, waiting to see what I'll say. I take a deep breath and then smile.
So, how do I start?
Both of them break into a grin as well.
I have just the thing. Come with me.
Aspen's so eager that she barely waits for Juliet and I to step out from the counter before leading us to the table besides the aisle of the books. Guessing that's where I'll be here a while, I pull up a seat while a curious Juliet hovers over my shoulder. She sits down and begins unpacking the bag she brought onto the table, turning out to be a bunch of pens and pencils. She hands me one before placing a small workbook in front of me.
Let's start with the alphabet. Juliet, would you mind? Your handwriting is much better than mine.
Gladly.
Realizing she's going to be a part of this, she quickly takes a seat to my other side and selects a sleek black pen. Opening the book, she brings her pen to one of the blank lines.
So, to begin with, this is the letter A.
The two of them take turns going through the different letters of the alphabet and showing me how to write them. Although I have a hard time remembering which is which, I pick up the writing part pretty fast, since I've had a lot of experience at work already. Each of them writes an example letter at the top of my paper first, before I try to take my turn. Juliet's handwriting is very precise and clean. It reminds me of something you'd see in an old advertisement or book. Aspen's, on the other hand, is almost as messy as mine's. Sometimes I'm not sure she's even writing the same letter as Juliet and I. After we get through the whole alphabet, they quiz me by holding up cards with different letters and asking me to name them. I get a lot of them wrong, but I do get a lot of them right too. When Aspen finally calls it quits for tonight, I'm a little bit disappointed.
So, how do you feel? I think you made very good progress for this being your first night.
Indeed. You should be proud of yourself, Miho.
I can't keep a little smile off my face. Maybe I am a little
It
proud.
was more fun than I thought it'd be. It was tough at first, but I think I'm getting the hang of it.
You certainly are.
Yes, if you work on it a little bit each night, I'm sure you'll make great progress.
The workbook that Aspen gave me already has a few pages completed because of how fast we were
Do you
going.
think I could learn to read by the end of this week?
The look that the two of them exchanged tells me my answer.
Well,
Not that quickly, I'm afraid. Even for the fastest learners, it still takes a few months to make much progress in reading. Going by how quickly you picked this much up, though, I think you'll do just fine.
Oh, I see.
I'd be expecting this to take a few nights at most, but months? That's a lot longer than I was anticipating. I must look disappointed because Aspen frowns and leans forward.
don't worry, I'm sure that time will fly by. As long as you're getting a little better every day, you'll be able to notice the results soon. Here, why don't you try this?
Aspen gets up from the desk and maneuvers behind me, putting her hands on top of mine. It's a little shaky and I notice her face is red as she makes a point not to look at me. I almost jerk it away out of instinct, but keep my cool instead. I'm not used to people touching me, but I know that with Aspen it's just a friendly gesture.
Here, follow these lines.
She gently guides my hand up and down across the paper, slowly forming the letters on the page with me. Whoa there. After 4 letters, she stops and scurries back to her chair. Juliet's snort of amusement from my side only confuses me further.
Can you read what that says?
I look down. The word on the page looks familiar. I squeeze my eyes shut, picturing the cards that they were holding up and which each letter sounds like.
Miho!
With a jolt, I realize it's my own name. Juliet and Aspen both clap excitedly, a blush forming on my cheeks.
Yes! You did it!
I still can't shake the feeling that this is kind of embarrassing to have them cheer me on for something so simple. Looking down at the paper with my name on it, though I have to smile a little too. This is the first time I've written my own name. Even if I did have Aspen's help, it's the first time I've read it myself too. I stare at it intently, committing the shape of those letters and then motions to make them into my memory. I use so many names in my life, but for some reason, this one feels a bit special. Excuse me. Just for a good measure, I write it down a few more times to practice. Each time it gets a little bit less shaky and more legible.
Thank you. Seriously.
Even if this wasn't my idea to start with, it feels like a new milestone in my life already. The start of something else that's new. I can add that to the list.
It's our pleasure.
Right. Especially since, I did kind of force you into it.
It's okay. Turns out I need people to make me do stuff sometimes.
I'm certainly good at that. You'll have to wait until tomorrow for more, though. I've already stayed a bit too late as it is.
Oh my, I hadn't even noticed the time. It sure did fly by, didn't it?
As she gets up to leave, Juliet and I take to our feet as well. Before realizing it, I let out a yawn.
I'll leave all this stuff with you, Miho, so you can study at your own pace. I'll try to come by at nights as well to help you practice.
And you're always welcome to ask me for advice too.
Thanks. I'm gonna practice during work too, when I don't have anything else to do.
That sounds wonderful. Good night, you two. Thanks for having me over.
Bye, Aspen!
Good night, Aspen. We'll see you soon.
Damn, why did Juliet kind of yell, "Good night"? With her trademark smile and wave, Aspen leaves the library. The two of us watch her go as she heads out into the night darkness
I
outside.
imagine you must be tired too, right?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I really am.
My hands are sore from all the writing, and my palm is colored gray with smeared pencil ink and ink. Oh, pencil lead and ink.
Can't believe that wore me out.
You had a full day of work too. You should get some rest. I'll finish cleaning up and preparing for tomorrow.
Are you sure? I didn't really do many of my chores today.
I'm certain. Go on, go to bed.
Secretly glad to be heading to bed rather than doing my work, I start to head out. As I look back, Juliet playfully waves me out of the
Good
room.
night. And thanks again.
You're always welcome, Miho. Have a good night.
With a pause for another yawn, I stretch my head and head upstairs. I'm going to sleep well tonight. As I lie in bed and wait for sleep to take me, I reflect on my day like always. Today was a good day. I accomplished a lot and I feel proud of myself. I can tell that Juliet and Aspen are proud of me too. That's taken some getting used to. It still weirds me out to think that people care about me, that they think of me even when I'm not around them. They're excited for me, about things that don't affect them. It's weird, but in a good way. Now that I think about it, it's been a whole day since I had a bad day. The shock and uneasiness of having a safe place to live and a stable life have worn off, and my daily routine has just become that routine. I thought I'd never get used to things like this, and that they'd never be real for me. Well, it turns out I was wrong. Rather than constantly overthink everything, I gotten better at just going with the flow. I think that's something to be proud of too. Rolling onto my side, I look around my room. It hasn't changed too much since I moved in, but it still feels distinctly mine. This isn't just a space that I happen to be in. Smiling, I close my eyes and roll off onto my other side. Just when did I become so sentimental? It's hard to say, but maybe that's okay too. I don't mind who I am right now, and my friends don't either. That's enough for me. With peaceful thoughts like that drifting through my mind, I also drift off to sleep. Work's been quiet today, with only a handful of patrons coming in at all. The few still here keep to themselves, quietly reading and browsing the aisles. I'd normally be bored on a day like this. It's a good thing that I have something new to keep me occupied during my downtime then. A few of the worksheets and books that Aspen gave me yesterday are spread out on the desk, out of the way for our guests, but still where I can see them. Whenever I get a few minutes to myself, I practice writing letters or memorizing their sound. When I have to write down titles that are being checked out, I pay more attention to what exactly I'm writing. I'm pleased to notice that it goes faster now than I did it before. I still have a long way to go, but I can feel myself making progress with every word I finish. That sense of pride helps motivate me to keep trying. Even when I'm away from the desk, tidying things up or putting books away, I try to think about letters and words. It's nice to have something to focus on, rather than just trying to find ways to fill the hours. That's good. Just as I settle back down to work after a quick lunch, Julia comes down from her room with a folded parasol in hand. With a calm nod of greeting, she walks up and joins me behind the desk.
Hey! You're up early.
Yes, I had some daylight errands to attend to. How are you doing, Miho?
Great! Check it out!
I show her one of my worksheets, which was really just a blank piece of paper on it. I've written my name over and over to practice. The first few okay, most of them are fairly messy. I think I get the hang of it by the end of the page though, and those ones are the most legible. I offer the paper to Julia, who looks it over with a smile.
Great job! I'm very proud of you.
Thanks. I'm proud of me too. What kind of errands are you running? Need any help?
Not this time. I'm just making a couple deliveries that can't wait until the evening. Will you be alright here by yourself?
Yep. I think I've got the hang of everything by now.
I'm pretty used to handling my duties on my own. If there ever was a problem, it would be hard to find Juliet to get her help. That hasn't happened yet, thankfully.
Excellent. I know I've said it before, but you've been a great help around the library. I appreciate your hard work.
Oh, it's not that hard. Besides, it gives me something to do.
That's nice to hear. Don't forget to take some time for yourself, and have fun every now and then, though.
I think that's some advice that Juliet herself should follow more often, but I keep that opinion to myself.
I will. Actually, I'm going to the museum after this. Aspen told me there's an exhibit all about Korea going on there. So, I'm hoping maybe I'll learn something useful.
Useful?
Yeah, like about my person.
Oh, I see.
Juliet gives me the same small smile that Aspen did when I mentioned my person yesterday. I know they think it's possibly hopeless, but I can't give up. I don't understand how they don't understand, since both of them always talk about caring for those close to you and making lasting bonds. Still, Aspen and Juliet have both done too much for me to hold that against them.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck. You know you can always ask me for help if you need any.
I know. Thanks.
Anytime. I'm going to head out now, but I'll make sure to come back early enough for you to go to Te Papa.
Sounds good. I'll keep studying and working until then. Bye!
Goodbye, Miho.
As Juliet goes out the front door, she pops her parasol open to protect her from the sun, then strolls out and enjoys the day's crowds. I stare at the now closed door, thinking. I wonder if either Aspen or Juliet have ever felt the same way about someone as I have about my person. It's a hard feeling to describe. It's something warm. I may have forgotten a lot over the years, but I've never forgotten their face or voice or the way they smelled, like charcoal and painting. All those things are too important to forget. It kept me going my whole life. It's been my entire reason for existence. At least until arriving in Wellington. Anyway, even with my new life here, I can't just abandon my old one. Not entirely. Maybe they just don't know how much it means to me. I couldn't blame them, since I've told them all about how little I cared about everything else. Maybe they think it's like a hobby, something to pursue when I have nothing else to do. But even here in the library, surrounded by friends and busying myself with a job, not a day goes by where I don't think of that forest back in Korea and my person. It's okay if Aspen and Juliet don't understand. They don't need to. It's important to me, and that's all that matters. So far, they've supported me in whatever I do. In fact, when I think about those two, I feel a similar way as when I think about my person. That warm, safe feeling. It's not exactly the same, but it's close. I don't think that's a coincidence. There have been a lot of new feelings that I don't have words for, like so many other parts of myself. I'm still figuring them out. That may take time, but I have plenty of it. Realizing that I've zoned out, I pull myself away from my thoughts and get back to focusing on work and studying. I may have lots of time, but I need to make sure I use it well. Only an hour or two later, I look up from my work to see Juliet returning from her errands. Folding up her parasol, she soon joins me at the front desk again.
Hello again, Miho. I tried to hurry back so you'd have plenty of time at the museum. You can go ahead and head off. I can handle the library for the rest of the day.
Cool, thanks. I tried to clean up and do as much as I could before you got back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Enjoy yourself. You'll have to tell me all about it when you get back.
Will do.
I put away my study materials in my room, and then with a big thumbs up to Juliet, leave the library.
Fresh air again.
Since I've been spending so much time inside since I started working, my walks and time outside are more refreshing than they used to be. The birds singing sound prettier, the scent of food wafting up from the town smells tastier, and I'll bet even the grass would feel softer if I was in my fox form to feel it. It's been a long time since I've transformed now that I think about it. I needed to stay focused for today, though. With the museum as the only thing on my mind, I pick up my pace as I walk into Wellington, heading along the now familiar streets. I pass by the bell house and glance inside, but I don't see Aspen. She mentioned she'd be working late today, so she must be in the back or maybe on a break. I follow the direction she gave me yesterday until I reach the building that has to be my destination. It's big. The parts that go off in all different directions. Near the front, there are two sections flanking the entrance. One is round and tan, while the other side is made of darker stone and looks more blocky. It's a bit intimidating, but seeing a few people heading in and out is reassuring. Taking a breath to steady myself, I stride on up. The entrance has a huge glass ceiling with glass doors that slide open when I approach them. I don't even have to pay or sneak in.
Whoa.
The moment I step inside, I can safely say that I've never been in a place like this before. It looked big from the outside, but from the inside, it's huge.
How am I gonna find the crane exhibit?
I don't even know where to look first. Different paths lead to different types of displays, and I can see floors and elevators going all the way up to the top. A family walks by me following a big arrow that points deeper into the building. Without any better ideas, I decide to take the same route. I'm sure I could ask someone where the exhibit is, but I'll look around on my own first. If I can't find it for a while, then I'll ask for help. I start to wonder about what's once inside, looking for anything that I might recognize from Korea. To my surprise, there are plenty of other exhibits that also end up catching my eye. In one section, a variety of sea life, fish, turtles, and others hang from wires above everything else. They look so lifelike that I think they're real animals at first, but after staring closely, I can see that they're just models. Another part of the museum is filled with skeletons of what looks like giant monsters. I can't even imagine what kind of creatures they were once. Maybe dragons? Spotting a panel with some illustrations, I skip over for a quick look. They aren't dragons, but they look awfully close. I've only seen a dragon once or twice in my life, but I've never seen one of these. Other sections are dedicated to humans and fabled civilizations. There are recreations of old human houses as well as diagrams showing fairy homes and werewolf dens, plus plenty of others. The tour guide talks to a small group as I walk around explaining this and that. I go slower through this part, feeling a little nostalgic. I even recognize some of the human technology and knickknacks from long ago. I had no idea they were old enough to be part of a museum now. There's even a big memorial to the war, showing humans and fabled fighting against one another at the front of the painting, and when the peace treaty was signed, which was the start of humanity and the fabled coexisting. I was around back then, but I stayed out of it, just like I stayed out of most things. Honestly, the history doesn't interest me too much, but I'm sure Juliet would love to see this. I'm sure she already has at some point. Just when I'm thinking about it and asking for help, I finally find what I'm looking for. A large banner with some text that I can recognize as Hangul. The Korean writing system is hanging over a number of display cases and tabletop exhibits. I hurry over to get a closer look. It's quieter up here than it was on some of the lower floors. I'm able to take my time browsing without feeling like I'm getting in someone's way. At the same time, my heart starts to beat faster with anticipation. I may not know what I'm searching for, but I'm sure I'll know it when I see it. I start at the entrance and slowly make my way through. The first section is full of pottery and carvings like from the brochure Aspen gave me. There are little animals and people carved out of stone, and even a few made of metal, and a number of clay pots and vases sit on pedestals next to them. Most are cracked or damaged, but some look as good as new. Moving on to the next part, there are a few intricate-looking outfits adorning mannequins. Some are just pants and a jacket, but most are vividly colored dresses that hang to the floor. I can almost feel the delicate silk in my hand. If I was still a thief, I bet those would sell for a lot. After the clothes are paintings. Tigers and birds are common to subject, but so are people and cities too. Other features gorgeous landscapes and flowers. I've never been a big fan of art, but somehow these are different. Looking at them doesn't make me feel sad, but it does make me feel something, like I'm wanting something I can't have. Suddenly it comes to me, a feeling I've heard about, and that I don't think I've experienced before. Homesickness. A painting of a green forest could be the one where I was born. I passed through towns that looked like those in the paintings, and hid from humans who looked like the ones showed inside them. Not all the memories are good ones, but they're mine. There's not much that I can relate to nowadays. In terms of people or places, I have friends now. Sure, but I don't have much common with them. That's never mattered before, but now I wish I could reach out and touch the paintings before mine. Touch the paintings before me, just to feel something from the same era as me. Of course, they're behind ropes, which keep me well back. I reluctantly start to move on again, just as I do. A certain painting catches my eye. It's small and displayed out of the way in a corner, as if nobody thought it was that important. The edges are jagged and torn, but the crucial part is still there. On one side, there's a fox surrounded by trees and leaves. Its fur is a different color than mine, but it's still clearly a fox. Just across from it is a human-like figure. She's dressed in an outfit similar to the ones I was just admiring, but that's not what stands out the most to me. Excuse me. Jeez. On her head are two pointy ears, and several long bushy tails peek out from the bottom of her dress. When I look at the fox again, I notice that it also has more than one tail. I breathe in deeply as if I could inhale the scent of the forest just from this artwork. Another gumiho? I take in all the details I can. She smiles, but her sharp fangs make her smile look sinister. The hand at her side has long claws instead of regular fingernails, claws that are clearly meant for ripping. Whatever she's looking and smiling at is missing, being part of the torn section. There's just a small part that remains, a pair of boots on the ground surrounded by the edge of what must be a pool of blood. Only then do I notice the blood around her lips and on the ground beneath her claws. And then the unmistakable bone-white bead hanging from a string around her neck. It's glowing like the moon. I instinctively raise a hand to my neck, feeling my own beads. It's reassuringly warm to the touch. Somehow I get the feeling that the one in the painting would be ice cold. This portrait of a gumiho leaves me conflicted. There's the same longing I felt looking at the paintings of the forest, but those claws and the blood, those feel foreign and detached. Is this how most people view gumiho? It would explain the fear and terror that seemed to follow me whenever I went when I was younger. the curses and threats from farmers and townsfolk whenever they saw me. It wasn't until after the war, when the fable became more common in human land, that I felt comfortable without my ears and tail hidden. Even then, I sometimes get dirty looks just for existing. The threats were usually reserved for when I got caught stealing. Still, I never been like the Gumiho in the painting. Stealing is one thing, but hurting someone? That just isn't me. I wish I'd been able to explain that to them. I wonder how different my life would have been. I tear my eyes away from the painting, but I know I'll be thinking about it for a long time to come. There's no point dwelling on what could have been. I pass through the rest of the Korean exhibit, quickly barely glancing at the artifacts that I haven't seen yet. It isn't until I've nearly left the gallery that I see something that makes me pause again. In a small and unremarkable display case among many others, there are numbers of delicate scrolls. On each one, a few old Korean-style characters are written. I don't think they're Hangul, and I don't know what they're called. They do look familiar, though. I left my own scroll back at home for safekeeping, but I don't need it with me to compare. The sweeps of the brushstrokes, the shapes of the characters, the shade of the ink. Closing my eyes and breathing in deeply, I swear I can smell them. My person. I press my hand against the glass. This is the closest I've been in hundreds of years. After centuries of looking, I finally...
No touching!
Oh. I leap backwards as someone shouts. I look around and see a woman wearing a badge and a museum t-shirt stalking towards me angrily. The instinct I thought I'd bury kicked in. It's time to run. Backing up, I look around for a getaway route, but there isn't one. I'm surrounded on almost all sides by cases. The only open direction is the one attendant is approaching from. Think, Miho, think. There has to be a way out of this. Could I jump over the display? No, they're way too tall. Maybe if I transform, I could get past the attendant. I have no idea how to navigate this building, though, and being a fox would attract way too much attention in a place like this. If I wait for them to get close, then I could probably run right past them like the security guard when I first arrived in Wellington. Heart racing, my panic must show on my face because they stopped a couple meters away from me, frowning.
Hey, it's not that big a deal. Just please keep your hands off in the future.
With a shrug, they turn around, leaving me alone. That's it? My hands are shaking as I watch them retreat, expecting them to snap around and come after me. Of course that doesn't happen, and I'm very slowly able to relax. All I'm left feeling afterwards is a lot of embarrassment. Looking around me, I'm glad that there aren't many people in this area. Nobody's looking at me either, whether out of politeness or because they just didn't notice. My face is burning red, and I look down at the scrolls again just to hide it. I sigh. Maybe it was silly of me to think that I could change myself entirely in such a short time, considering I'd just be remembering the old days and all the abuse that I went through from humans. It makes some sense. After I settle myself down a little, I turn my attention back to what's really important. Well, I know what these scrolls have to be from my person. They don't help me much on their own. There's a little card in one corner of the case covered in text. It might have something useful written on it, but that doesn't do me any good. I consider trying to copy it all down to have Aspen or Juliet read it to me later, but there's so many words that I'm not sure I could get them all. I gulp, looking over at the museum attendant who was so scared of just a moment ago. I do have one option. Summoning all my courage, I approach them slowly. They're just a regular person, I remind myself, like Aspen or Juliet, or even like me now, just doing their job.
Excuse me?
I hope that's polite enough. As she looks over to me, her face doesn't look annoyed, more bored.
Can I help you? I'm sorry for touching the glass. I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about those papers, like who wrote them.
Like I said, it's no big deal.
It's just a safety precaution so nothing gets damaged. Anyway, there's an informational plaque in the corner. It should have all those details.
Would they even believe me if I said I can't read? I worry that might make me even more suspicious.
Can't see very well, and the words are so small. Can you read it for me?
Oh, sure. Let's see.
That was almost too easy. They don't question or analyze me at all, simply walking over and leaning in next to me.
Says here these were some of the first works by a calligrapher whose name was Jong-in in the 17th century. They were a scholar who lived in Korea and...
The attendants keep reading, but I'm not listening. I've already gotten what I came for. A name. Jong-in. For the first time, I have something to call them. Something that's unmistakably theirs. I pretend to listen to the rest of what's being read out loud. And thanks to the person on autopilot when they're done, my head's not here in the present moment. It's back in the forest where I was born.
정인.
Once they've walked away, I say it out loud, trying out how it sounds. I think it fits them.
정인. 정인.
I say it over and over again, making sure I'll never forget. Finally, I have something to go off. Feeling a little bit dazed from the enormity of the moment, I find my way downstairs and wander out of the museum. I can't wait to tell Juliet and Aspen. I'm so excited that I end up missing my turn to take me back to the library, lost in my thoughts about what will happen when I get there instead. I hope this guy is dead so the Yuri can continue. Damn. Well, guess what, Emo? We're gonna save that for next stream. So you're gonna have to wait, because that's a lot of reading. But considering that he's from the 17th century, and I'm pretty sure they're in the modern age right now. I'm pretty sure, yeah. That person's dead. Her person's dead. So yeah, it's only been 3.5 hours. I know, but it's 3.5 hours of consistent reading. But yeah, that is gonna be it for today's stream. So until next time, take care, have a good one, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.